for the highs and lows. Give your mind if your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone. I'll be there when you're down and down on your luck. No ride home when you got too drunk. 2 a.m. I'ma pick you up. I'll be there. Hey, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for the highs and lows. Give your mind if your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone. I'll be there when you're down and down on your luck. No ride home when you got too drunk. 2 a.m. I'ma pick you up. I'll be I'll be there for the highs and lows. Give your mind if your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone. I'll be there when you're down and down on your luck. No ride home when you got too drunk. 2 a.m. I'ma pick you up. I'll be there. Hey, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for the highs and lows. Give your mind if your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone. I'll be there when you're down and down on your luck. No ride home when you got too drunk. 2 a.m. I'ma pick you up. I'll be
Hey, yeah, yeah. Look, I put the cleanest flows on the dirtiest beats. Match made in heaven, put them in luxurious suites. Honeymoon phase coming on its 30th week. It's a life bid headed to my permanent peak. Fast and furious speed, a couple hundred on the dashboard. Speeds on NASCAR, didn't need a crash course. What else do they want? Cause I did what they asked for. College and a job, now I'm building me a platform. I don't move alone, I'm always coming with the guys now. I've been in my bag just like the spots under my eyes now. I've been putting more time in the studio than nights out. Oh no, no, oh no, no, no. I don't gotta tell them, either way they gonna find out. I was scratching on the surface, but I'm on my grind now. Trust me, you gon' be in trouble if you ever time out. Oh no, no, oh no, now they asking me, damn son, how you keep making these anthems? I make the wishes then grant them. I promise none of this is random. The ladies asking me, damn son, when'd you get tall and handsome? I gotta ghost them Danny Phantom, but I let you join the fandom, yeah. Let me reinforce this, I force the forfeit. Always open to a challenge, so play at your risk. I wrap circles round squares, my bars in orbit. I let the storm hit, then I stay under the weather. I'm wild, I'm more sick, my vibe is more slick. Like Rick in 9-6, the game's in a tight grip. I'm Mr. Carter with the light flick, Arthur with the right fist, sharper than the knife tip. I got against your tie clip. Used to care what people thought, but now I think I'm past that. I've been so invested in my future like the NASDAQ. Betting on myself since 20 when we playing blackjack. Oh no, no, oh no, no, no. Forrest, can't you stick to a style, follow a roadmap? Baby, I'm just too versatile to ever hold back. I don't need to talk about drugs to make a dope track. Oh no, no, oh no, no. Now they asking me, damn son, how you keep making these anthems? I make the wishes then grant them. I promise none of this is random. The ladies asking me, damn son, when'd you get tall and handsome? I gotta ghost them Danny Phantom.
I saw it coming from miles away. I better speak up if I got something to say, 'cause it ain't over until she sings. You had your reasons, you had a few, but you know that I would go anywhere for you, 'cause it ain't over until she sings. I just need to get it off my chest, yeah, more than you know, yeah, more than you know. You should know that baby you're the best, yeah, more than you know, yeah, more than you know. Your good intentions are sweet and pure, but they can never tame a fire like yours. No, it ain't over until she sings.
Morning. How are you all? I didn't see you there. My name's Grant Smith Ellis. Nice to see you. Oh, my towel friend. So good to see you, Wildflower. And Miss Brown. And Lavender and Rose. And Tracy V. And Tony Massey. Oh, good morning, Peggy 2930. Enjoy your towel wrench. We had quite a night, ladies and gentlemen. It's just coming up on 7:45 a.m. here in Boston at the War Desk. And, well, you know, as things are wont to do, last night got a little intense. It's about 1:45 p.m. in South Africa, 2:45 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and 3:15 p.m. in Tehran, Iran. It is Friday, July 17th, a day that will go down in potential infamy because, well, America hit Iran's bridges, and as you're going to see, the people of Kuwait this morning woke up to their desalination plant and power plant near the airport destroyed. It was not good. And Kuwait can't lie about it because I got the footage from the webcam of the desalination plant being hit. You can't really get potable drinking water in a desert, so you got to take salt water and desalinate it. It's tough. It's complicated. You know, it takes a lot of energy. So Iran knocked out the power plant and the desalination plant in Kuwait. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. All right, it's ramping up. Ready the garrisons. Man your towels. Protect the goats. I don't know what to tell you. This is a stage 7 out of 10 alert. Barring, you know, Israel getting bombed, this is the most serious thing that could possibly happen. So we're going to talk about it. I went to bed. I was tired. I'm sorry. Yesterday was a long day. I don't remember what happened. Oh, I had to go to the doctor. It was a long day. But I'm home now. I'm relaxing. And although I have something I want to do today, it's not imperative that it be done today. So you have my full attention. God bless all of you. So good to see so many of you. We got to talk about what happened overnight. All right? It was tough. It was brutal. I don't know what to tell you. All right? So it started about, I don't know, 3 p.m. Eastern yesterday. First of all, I was like, what the hell is going on at 3 p.m. Eastern? All right? I forget what I was doing yesterday. There was something I was doing that was, you know, I was kind of keeping an eye on things, but there was a reason I couldn't go live. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I don't have time to think about that right now. I think I was tired from the doctor. I don't know. It was physical therapy. It was a little brutal. I wish I could remember what it was that happened to me that caused me not to be able to go live last night, but I don't remember because I was too focused on what was happening. So we just have to focus on that. Okay, so it started at about, I don't know, 3 p.m. yesterday. Is that right? Yeah, 3:42 p.m. CENTCOM launched a round of strikes. Now, I was like, the timing's a little weird. But there have been rounds and rounds of strikes in Iran. Okay, that's not abnormal, even during this odd period of ceasefire, etc. But I will tell you, President Trump was then doing an interview with Trey Yingst over the last, I think it was like 2 days ago, but Trey Yingst was airing clips yesterday, and the rhetoric was very bellicose. So I'm already kind of like he's talking about like destroying them next week, blowing up Iran's power plants and their bridges. And then, I just want to be clear, the most glaring red alarm right now is that Qatar and Jordan are imposing blackouts on attacks that I know happened. We're going into this cycle again, and Kuwait's doing the same thing, although Kuwait quickly owned the strike on the desalinization plant because it was on camera. But yeah, we're heading back into that states blacking out attacks mode, which is a very bad sign. And the Iraqi resistance sources all went dark like an hour ago, and then Iran fired a cluster missile at Suleimania. All right, so I think something's about to go down. My best guess, although I could be wrong, is that we're looking at a potential combined resistance surprise attack with the Iraqi resistance, Iran, and the Hezbollah and the Houthis doing a coordinated attack, whether it's closing the Bab al-Mandab, some kind of like wide strike, I don't know. But they all went dark, and the Iraqi sources don't go dark unless something's going to happen. They always use the excuse of there's some kind of medical incident going on. Anyway, let's take a listen to Mr. President.
I do see Cuba, a lot of things are going to happen in Cuba over the next maybe 2 months, but I don't see it being like Venezuela.
Militarily?
Venezuela has massive amounts of oil. We could do that with Cuba. It would not be hard for us to do, obviously. Venezuela is much bigger than Cuba, but Venezuela is the gold. It's got.
Do you understand? You want to invade Cuba? You think maybe the Iranians have drones
it
there?
actually does have gold.
Or
It's
missiles?
got a lot of gold, got a lot of oil. It's
Got a lot of Iranian ballistic missiles and drones?
got among the most, it's probably got the most valuable land on earth in terms of
Attacking the United States?
the gold, the rubies,
Are you going to cause a modern Cuban missile crisis, Mr.
go through
President?
it. It's like the
Oh,
craziest
dear
thing you've
God.
ever seen. But they have more oil than almost.
Listen to me. I'm telling you right now, if they're going to attack Cuba, it's because there's Iranian missiles and drones on Cuba. You don't attack Cuba for its resources. Its strategic value is the fact that it's 90 miles from Florida. All right, now I'm going to show you the attack that started unfolding from 3 p.m. yesterday. We have a lot to go through. It started in Bandar Abbas. Here's the footage. Then that watchtower, by the way, we started attacking. It's gone. All right, then Kuwait started launching HIMARS. Well, it's American positions in Kuwait launching HIMARS. This was yesterday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It was nighttime in the Middle East. Good morning, Nikki King. Good morning, so many of you. Liberty, it's so good to see you. And Ortho, good morning. Mishigama, my dear friend, you're wonderful. Good morning. Or, it's so good to see you. How are you? Dinosaur, how are you? Good morning, my dear friend. Yeah, this was Kuwait last night. American HIMARS, ACT, whatever they're called. I don't know the other acronym. Missiles launching from Kuwait. This is near the Iraqi border. Keep this in mind because Iran lights this position up when the sun rises. All right, now let's take a look at the telecommunications tower in Bandar Abbas that was completely destroyed last night. This is not the maritime tower. All right, that tower right there, the one to the right, broken in half. Okay, I also have a strike. I think I have strike footage of that tower being hit. Now here's images of the HIMARS launching from Kuwait last night. This was just the beginning of the American attack. Okay, it gets really bad. I'm going to take you through all of it so you're fully caught up. Now, I'm going to show you the civilian airport in Iran Shah that was struck last night. Good morning, 304 Mafia Towel News Network. Indeed. Good morning, Luna. How are you? It's so good to see so many of you. This was a rough night. We need to get caught up as quickly as possible because I don't know what's going to happen today. This is the civilian airport in Iran Shah. Multiple people are dead in Iran, including a child and 3 women. It's really bad. This was one of the worst nights of this conflict since the cessation of active hostilities in April. A lot of people are dead in Iran. And two guys actually, were just driving over a bridge to the north of Bandar Abbas, and they are dead. I didn't see their bodies, but I saw that car they were in. Oh my goodness. We killed civilians overnight. It was brutal. It wasn't like a shrapnel hit him. The missile hit his car and charred it. What are we doing? I don't understand. Now, I want to give you a little context. You're looking right now at more launches. This was, I believe, Kuwait. Yeah, from Kuwait towards Iran. I want to bring up the big board for a second, and I want to show you what we did last night, all right? The big board, please. Thank you. That's the big board. I'm the producer, so I'm thanking myself. Okay, so over here, we need to go on the big board. We need to talk about the big board, all right? We're on the big board, all right? Everybody sit down. T.A. Sarah is probably sleeping, but when she wakes up, she'll take notes. Okay, take a look. Now, do you see this area of Iran? Okay, everybody paying attention? Everybody look at the board, all right? Look at the board. That's the big board. That's Tehran, okay? That's the capital. Now, we're talking about down here. Now, why is this tactically important? Well, that's the Strait of Hormuz, okay? That's Kuwait. That's Iraq. That's Iran, okay? This is the Persian Gulf, okay? Stuff flows out of here and then over to like China and Russia through the Strait of Hormuz, okay? That's UAE. That's Oman. Keep all of that, and that's Saudi Arabia, and that's Yemen. Keep all of that in mind, but for now, we're talking about Bandar Abbas. Now, take a look up here, okay? What Bandar Abbas is, you must understand the geography of, first of all, that's Qeshm Island. That's the island in Iran closest to the strait, okay? There's Larak Island as well, and then when they, okay? Then it has another deep water, like the most obvious deep water Navy port I've ever seen in my life, right here. Okay, take a look at it. It's literally right here in the middle of Bandar Abbas. It looks like a deep water submarine port. It's like it has like that conventional like deep port in the middle of the bay, and then the two wings to it. That's what a deep water submarine port looks like. Now, this is Bandar Abbas, the city. That's the airport. Now, Bandar Abbas, importantly, not only facilitates like the flow of whatever the hell is being built in these mountains here down to the port, okay, probably nuclear material or whatever. I think this is like a nuclear power plant. There's some runoff that comes like out of the mountain and goes out here. That's very obvious. Like the runoff like that comes out of that mountain basically goes like right here. And this little like chute, it's very obvious that it's deep wastewater runoff from a nuclear power plant. So it's under this mountain, okay? The bridges so just understand. Goods flow into this port. Military weapons flow into this port, military support flows into this port, and then also oil flows out of this port. It's one of the most strategically important ports in Iran. Now, what we did was last night we bombed 2 bridges north of Bandar Abbas, completely isolating the city. They were like somewhere up here, okay? They're around here. The bridges are around here, like 1, 2, okay? You can't get into Bandar Abbas if those bridges are destroyed. And I think we probably hit one over here too. So there are only 3 routes into the city, and probably one over here too. And importantly, a majority of them involve going through mountainous terrain, which requires bridges. So what I'm about to show you, you need to, I think you fully understand because we did our big board lecture. I'm going to show you bridges that were bombed out at a very tactically important part. Remember the bridge we saw bombed the other day? I told you it was important. It was up here near Akwala and Gorgan because it's used to ship oil to China and Russia overland through Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan and Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, etc., and Afghanistan. Okay? But down here, this is like the Strait of Hormuz is not just a battle over who gets to ship oil out of it. It's a battle over Iran's ability to sell oil. Because America's trying to America wants the oil traffic in the world to go to America. So they're trying to deplete Iranian capacity, much like Ukraine's doing to Russia, to export oil. So when I tell you this is a very big deal, they cut off Bandar Abbas. The only reason you would do that is to take these islands and then take Bandar Abbas. Now, do you know how dangerous it is to try to take not only Qeshm, first of all, taking this thing up here is going to be hard enough. They want to take this, okay, because it's the closest island between Kuwait and Iran. This is a very important oil depot, and it's small, and you can hold it. But it has not. When people talk about Karg Island, it has nothing to do with the Strait of Hormuz. That's up north near Iraq and Kuwait. When people talk about Keshem and Larak Island, and this island, Hormuz Island, they're talking about the Strait of Hormuz. And then there's also some islands in here that like the UAE and Iran have fought over for a long time. Iran wants, first of all, Iran wants the entire country of Bahrain back because it used to belong to them. They also want this land south of Basra. It's called the Penay Exclave. Iran to the west, Kuwait to the east, Iraq to the north, the Persian Gulf to the south. A Penay Exclave is a body of land attached to its own country on one side, bordered by 2 other countries on either side, and then water on another side. And then Bahrain as well. So Kuwait used to be part of Iran. Bahrain used to be part of Iran. They got taken in like very colonialistic like deals. It was very predatory. Iran wants them back. And then the UAE and Iran fought over some of these islands in like the 80s and 90s. I don't remember exactly. So Iran wants some of these islands back. Now, Kish Island also, and Lavon, we've also been striking. But if you're going to take control of the Strait of Hormuz, you need to take actual physical control of Keshem, Larak, Hormuz, all islands, and then probably Fanor Island, and then what's this? Siri Island, Abu Masa Island, Greater Tanub, and then this one, Kish Island and Lavon Island, and then Hendarabi Island. And then you probably also need to take, like, you could probably buy land, you probably only need to take like Bandar Abbas on the actual part, like Iranian territory, although Keshem is Iranian territory. But in terms of islands, you got to take all these islands, and then you got to create a buffer zone so Iran can't flood troops in to take the islands back. But all these islands have tunnels under them. They're all rigged and booby-trapped and connected to the mainland via tunnels. So they're just going to flood people in underland to ward off the invasion. But that's where I think we're going. The only way that America is going to actually get control of the strait, and again, remember the adage in war, it's not what can you win. Anybody can take something in a war. It's what can you hold. And to hold this, you would have to control all the way up to here. You'd have to control this whole area. If you could take this, Pakistan's over here, but if you could take this, like a halo, and you could take this, and you could take the islands, then you could control the strait. That's crazy, though. You would create an all-out war. They would launch missiles every minute. They would, you have to understand, Iran is huge. It's like 1.6 million square kilometers. You're only talking about taking, from Minab to Bandar Abbas and some islands. They are going to launch, it would cost us 50,000 deaths on the first day if we did this. I can't believe they're even thinking about this. And what's weird to me, I want to take you through this, what Iran has been doing for 5 days is almost striking rear line positions. They're hitting our troops in hotels in Oman. I saw satellite confirmation of that. They're hitting our bases in Bahrain. They're hitting our bases in Kuwait, and then they're hitting our CENTCOM forward base, which shifted out of Qatar and moved to Jordan. And then there's a special forces base in Syria that they hit as well overnight. These are rear line support positions for the troops who would be up here trying to actually take this land. So it seems to me that the unspoken elephant in the room here, no pun intended, because Iran calls America the elephant. The unspoken elephant in the room here is Iran tactically targeting American supply line positions, and America tactically isolating the areas of Iran that it wants to take over for purposes of controlling the strait. I think Mr. President really just wants to be I control the strait. And I'm not sure he's gonna. I don't think the Strait of Hormuz is worth 50,000 American lives. I don't understand. It's not that tactically important to us. It's really not. We don't buy any oil from there. The only reason it would be tactically important is if we're trying to set up a new oil market in America. and in turn not control the Strait of Hormuz, but shut down oil exports from the Middle East. And you can't do that. They'll just use overland routes. Money flows no matter what. No one will ever stop the flow of money. The only way you're going to stop the flow of money for petroleum is if you create a form of energy that's not based on petroleum. All right? And frankly, somebody tried that, and it didn't work out too well for him. And I was thinking about it in the shower this morning. The fact that in the early 1900s, this society, this civilization, this human race, made a decision to monetize petroleum at the expense of latent energy generation screwed us, because it's limited our ability to evolve to a type 2 or whatever it's called civilization. You can't do anything when you're artificially limiting the energy supply for profit. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're hurting civilization. Seriously, the reason history is actually stagnated is the artificial monetization of petroleum. And frankly, the artificial monetization of energy production. And it's hurting all of us. I don't understand. It's causing these wars, frankly. It's causing rampant market manipulation, which is probably why it's so common, this petroleum market-based economy, because it's very easy to manipulate, obviously. But we got to get away from it. You want to know the root cause? It's the British. Just like French colonialism caused Vietnam, the damn British caused this problem in the Middle East, because and frankly around the world, because they were selfish. And they viewed energy generation vis-a-vis petroleum as a pathway to empire building. And that's exactly why they deserve their fate at Suez, ironically enough, with the Bab al-Mandab now in play. The British Empire falling over Suez was a message from God that the American Empire should have heeded. Sorry, I'm all mad. Getting all mad. Good morning. I don't know. Sometimes I just say things, don't really know where it comes from. I'm just like, I have things to say. Here's the bridge we destroyed. It was bad. Sorry, let me switch back. We did our big board. Wasn't that an interesting big board lecture? Thank you for paying attention. Here's the bridge. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Mike Johnson. Good morning, Surya. Good morning, Keith. I think he's saying they bombed the bridge. I don't speak Persian. I think he's saying that the Americans bombed the bridge. He's probably saying bad words about the Americans. They bombed the bridge.
اوسط کافته یه خورده وسط تریلی تانکر دوستان پل گریوه اوسط ولی دادنه ها عدیده تریلی با
Oh, Surya, you're 100% right. It's about the petrodollar, but it's about more than the petrodollar. The petrodollar is a very interesting cover regime for fiat currency. Petroleum is a basically middleman for the laundering of artificial wealth generation vis-a-vis fiat currency. Petroleum is the art of the money laundering world. Petroleum is where people really manipulate markets and money, because it's an artificially scarce commodity like diamonds. Petroleum is the most prevalent, naturally occurring, whatever the hell it's called. It's a combination of three elements that are all very prevalent, but it's the most naturally occurring substance on Earth. Seriously, it is more. I'm pretty sure some of the deep water reservoirs are not as big as the deep lakes of oil, because all oil is hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen or nitrogen. It's a very simple chemical, and peak oil is fake. There was never, ever, 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 ever in a million years going to be humans on this earth that could extract all the oil from the earth. Never. It was never going to happen. That was price control. It was it was price fixing, frankly. And so it's just like the opium trade or any other very malicious market. The commodity is the vehicle, but the manipulation of money markets is the goal. And they don't care whether they have to use drugs or oil. It's just whatever will let them have control over money markets. That's why the election of 1896 was so important in American history, because the whole notion of the free silver movement was this sort of Jeffersonian reinvigoration of the value of locally controlled spice or hard currency, because that wards off manipulative fiat lending, and thus there is no use for a vehicle like petroleum or margin loans or drugs or whatever the hell they're using to manipulate money markets. And that's really what it's all about. Extracting resources from countries in plain sight and then stripping their populations of the fruits of their land, not just their labor, but the minerals and resources under their land, commodifying it, artificially monetizing it, and then basically using debt slavery to ensure those people cannot and will not ever take control of the resources that are being stolen from them and centralized in the hands of a few very manipulative and greedy money market traders who are worthless and lazy and not very smart and outsource a lot of their work. And that's why Fritz Lang made the film Metropolis in 1929. My name's Graham Smith Ellis, and now you understand post-industrial economies.
با بنزین پل گریبه نابود بود. آها عدیده پل گریبه تریلی تانکر دوستان وسط پل دوستان.
Yes, Kat, I have an answer for you. CENTCOM's forward base moved from Qatar to Jordan.
پل گریبه وسط ولی
Good
داده.
morning, Michael Brown, my dear friend. It's so good to see you. Here's the video of the bridge that the U.S. bombed last night.
وسط کفته یه خورده وسط تریلی تانکر.
Good morning, Nurse of Interest. What a wonderful username. Thank you so much for that welcome, and I love your emoji, and God bless all nurses.
دوستان پل گریبه وسط ولی داده.
Now, I gotta take you through what happened last night, because today is gonna be rough. Now I'm gonna show you the bridge that was struck in Kyrgyzstan. Again, 3 bridges struck, 3 to 5. I don't know. I've only seen video of 3 different ones. These are bridges that allow goods and weapons and oil to flow in and out of Bandar Abbas, the southernmost point on the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. The Iranians speak Farsi, not Persian. Yes, that's why I corrected myself. I don't know why. Oh, I know why I say Persian. So in my translator software, it's actually labeled as Farsi and then Persian next to it. I don't know if this is like maybe like a Western sort of designation, but yeah, I am well aware that the language spoken, thank you for correcting me though, is Farsi. I don't know how to speak Farsi. I know a little Arabic. We have a few people in chat who speak Arabic and can kind of understand Farsi. We translate a lot of Farsi on this stream, but I still don't know how to speak it. I can kind of identify it. The regional dialects, though, I'm not as good at. I can hear regional dialects of Arabic because I listen to Al Jazeera Arabic a lot. So I know a Lebanese dialect of Arabic. I know a Qatari dialect of Arabic. But when you start like trying to differentiate between like Farsi dialects, or even like Farsi TV presenters speak so fast that I just don't know what they're saying unless I have the translations. But yeah, we have Interpretowel here. She's wonderful. God bless Interpretowel. And if you ever are listening, those of you in the chat, and you hear something in Farsi that you understand, feel free to let us know and I'll try to translate it.
پل گریبه وسط ولی داده. وسط کفته یه خورده وسط تریلی تانکر. دوستان پل گریبه وسط ولی داده. ها عدیده تریلی با بنزین پل گریبه نابود بود. آها عدیده پل گریبه تریلی تانکر سوخت نابود بود. راننده.
Oh, yes. Let me just follow up with Kat. Kat, that's why Iran is targeting Jordan. America's CENTCOM forward base is in Jordan. That's what they're bombing. I'll show you some of the satellite footage in a little
مرد
bit.
را و ایران بو.
Yeah, it sounds. I don't know Farsi, but it doesn't sound like. For example, I watch IRIB sometimes, or the other TV networks. It just doesn't sound the same.
موشکی خوردن وسط پل گریوه. آها پل گریوه یه تکه کلن اصلا نین. آها وای 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 ای خوردن وسط پل تریلی. کسی رو طرف پل گریوه نیاد. طرف پل گریوه پلامو یا بالفقط التركيده برا ايو برا التريلي تاكر بنزين التركه.
Yeah, so hello Miss Clutch. I do I absolutely do. So sometimes if I'm given like a spiel or I'm in a flow state, I may not see the comments. But most of the time if we're watching a video, yeah, I'm looking down at the comments. Josie Lou says that doesn't sound like Farsi. I agree. And it's not Turkish. What is it? Do you think maybe this is a like a worker who was in Bandar Abbas and from another country? I don't know. It sounds kind of French. It sounds Arabic, maybe? Iraqis. Little Green, that's a good guess. It does sound like French-influenced Arabic, but I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't identify. We need Interpretal for this. Kat says it sounds Farsi, maybe dialect, almost African. And Josie Lou says it sounds like a dialect of Arabic. Listen, I think we might actually need a subject matter expert. We're all very close. We might need someone who is from the region. I'm sure some of you actually have family there or from there. I don't know what this language is. I'll let you hear it one more time. I've never heard it before.
پل گریوه وسط ولی دادن. وسط کافته یه خورده وسط تریلی تانکر دوستان پل گریوه وسط ولی دادن. ها عدیده تریلی با بین.
This is from Dugar City in Bandar Abbas. This is from Dugar City, Bandar Abbas.
زین پل گریوه نابود بود. آها عدیده پل گریوه تریلی تانکر سوخت نابود بود. راننده مرد را و
Yes, there was a fuel truck on this bridge when it was hit. Hello, Marguerite. You nailed it, my friend.
ایران بود. موشکی خوردن وسط پل گریوه. آها پل گریوه یه تکه کلن اصلا نین. آها وای 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 ای خوردن وسط پل تریلی. کسی رو طرف پل گریوه نیاد. طرف پل گریوه پلامو یا بالفقط التركيده برا ايو برا التريلي تاكر بنزين التركه. یا خدا پل گریوه وسط ولی دادن.
Yeah, I agree about the analysis, Kat. Hello, Mercury Star. God bless you. I will stand up for the people of England. All right? I don't know what you all got to do. Elect Reform UK or whatever they're called now. They seem to, not be as insane as the Liberals. The Labour Party in the UK, I don't understand this reactionary, like, oh, we don't like the Tories, so we'll elect Labour. Does that really sound like the best life decision? I know it's none of your fault, but, like, that got a little bad. Alright, so the UK's kind of got to, like, figure itself out a little bit. I think that the local local council elections in recent months are a harbinger of what's going to happen in the general election. And, Keir Starmer, like, resigned. So, yeah, the Labour Party's in shambles. It's not quite like the last days of Maggie Thatcher. That was a little bit more managed, almost like the collapse of Boris, or what was his name? The mayor of London, Boris Johnson. Like, the collapse of his coalition was a little bit more managed than the current Labour collapse. I expect to see, like, an emergence of a form of parliamentary democracy in the UK that it has never seen before in this fall election. It won't be the same in the US. Normally, as the UK goes, so goes the US, strangely. It won't be the case this time. The US electorate's going a very different direction. The UK, though, they're having, like, their resurgent kind of Brexit moment again, and I expect sweeping parliamentary victories for Reform UK, probably to the point of a coalition government, if not a straight majority, based on those local council results and the number of seats they took from Labour and the Tories. They could pull a straight majority. It would be shocking. There's no party in the history of British politics that ever entered a parliamentary election and then took a majority of seats. So, we'll see. All right, now we're going to take a look at more footage from Khuzestan, Khamir County in Iran overnight. This was another one of the bridges that was destroyed. I agree, Mercury Star. I agree. And that's also important because, you know, let's just say the British aristocracy and the American aristocracy aren't as different as everybody thinks. The crown never went away in America. Are you kidding me? They just pretended by like being like, all right, we'll keep our property, which was allowed in the agreement to end the Revolutionary War. The aristocrats and the crown got to keep their property. All right? And they just shifted and they were all quiet. All right? But I know that there are British loyalists still to this day running around in the aristocracy. I'm not a moron.
آدمی معلوم نیست چی بودی بزن اونجا رو پل رو این پل راخانه دومیت ماشین هم رو پل بودی
تست ماشین نیست
کسی نبودی؟ اوه ماشین نه
This is the bridge that was just... Oh, that was the car. Before, by the way, I wasn't getting mad at any of you. I was just getting mad at, you know, this idea that this aristocratic class thinks that they don't have to respect national sovereignty just because they can manipulate the public and hide in plain sight. That makes me all mad. Now, that is the car. Just in case anyone tries to deny that America blew up a civilian car on one of those bridges overnight, there it is. I hate when people try to black things out or lie about things. If you do it, own it. We destroyed a civilian car. We blew up 3 to 5 bridges, at least 3, and we killed a lot of people overnight. Like the American army, I don't know why we did this, but we just struck while civilians were on the bridges. We struck in the other night at a hospital, and multiple children. 1 child is dead. 3 women are dead. 2 men from this bridge are dead. Oh, it's water under the fridge. God bless you, my friend. You reminded me to set up my super chat goal. The great defender of the Great Lakes. I will pray for peace. Say God bless you. And play goat videos. Hashtag save the goats. Water under the fridge. We have quite a situation developing. We might need to build some goat-based shelters. We're going to build shelters for the goats. You know what? That's the only thing we can do at this point. When I get to that point, you know it's not good. Save the goats.
کسی نبودی؟ اوه ماشین نه آدمی معلوم نیست چی بودی بزن اونجا رو پل رو
Let me put up a poll, actually. I'd like to know what some of you think. What is your feeling on the current state of the U.S.-Iran conflict? We are in a drastic escalation. Things are calm. We are heading to a hot war. Somebody save the goats. Alright, you all have fun with that one. That was the video from the bridge. Alright, one of 3 to 5 bridges. I've only seen footage of 3, so I can't report on 5. Now, here's something that's very controversial, okay, that came up overnight. Now, there is, you must know if you've been watching this war since day one on this channel, the coverage thereof. There is a propensity of certain states, the UAE in particular, to black out, and Jordan, and originally Iran, but that's different now, and Israel, but that was never the case because there's just too many cameras, and Kuwait and Bahrain. Okay, they don't like when people report that there's attacks on their cities. because in Dubai in particular, in the UAE, it drives down tourism. And their entire economy is based on wealthy people going there to like do tourism. It's also like a bank, and it trades some LNG, liquid natural gas, and some oil. But it's basically like a tourist destination for, like, I want to speak gently, people who can't be in other countries but have a lot of money. Okay, everybody on the same page? All right. Yeah, Sean, good to see you, my friend. I agree. We are heading towards something very drastic. And I'm not saying this because of the bombings. I'm saying this because Kuwait's desalinization plant was hit. But we're going to get there. This is a report, okay? And I cannot confirm this, but I want to let you know the Dubai media office is literally the person you should trust the least, okay? They, during the war, lied all the time. I'm sorry, Dubai media office, they're going to get all made. But, like, come on. They would say things during the war that I would know before they put the statement out were wrong, because I would have seen the video, and they'd be like, no, that didn't happen. And don't pay attention to the video before your eyes. So there was this big fight yesterday, literally a huge fight, because Reuters put out a statement that they heard explosions in the capital in Dubai of the UAE. Okay, the UAE media office literally like starts accusing Reuters of treason. I'm pretty sure they were going to arrest the Reuters reporter for saying this. And they didn't say that, but the tenor of the attacks on Reuters was brutal from the people in the UAE. Now, hello, retired veteran. Good to meet you. Welcome to the channel. God bless you. Now, if you know anything about the UAE, their population's a little, militant. They were calling for Reuters, to be charged under the national security law in the UAE for reporting the explosions. Well, then, 6 hours later, after the media office is like this, the people who reported explosions are disgraceful. They're an insult to journalism. All right, well, somebody puts a picture up, AMK mapping, and they're like, well, this is the leak I got from Dubai. These are the interceptors that were up there earlier today. Which is the exact same pattern that happened during the early days of the war. So, that has me worried. Now, I showed you those 3 videos from the bridges. I showed you the footage from Iran Shah Airport, the civilian airport. Okay, now I'm going to show you the telecommunications tower on Alu Akbar Hill in Bandar Abbas. By the way, that maritime tower is gone this morning. It's gone completely. Bibi canceled his trip to the United States. This is the strike on one of the telecommunications tower. The maritime tower, the one that was hit twice, is now gone. And the defense secretary was bragging about it, which also is eerily reminiscent and concerning, because that's what the U.S. was doing in the first days of the war. They would bomb Iran and then they'd brag about it. This is a report from Revolution Square in Tehran last night, with Arabic translated to English. I don't know if I did these captions or if they were provided by the video. It's a short clip of an Al Mayadeen report from downtown Tehran last night as the escalation was starting.
وصلها الشعب الإيراني الحاضر هنا في ساحة الثورة، أولها أن أمن إيران واقتدارها وعزتها لا تستند فقط على المعدات والقوى العسكرية، إنما تقوم أيضا على الدعم الكبير من الشعب والإيمان الثوري والرابط الوثيق بين القيادة والشعب والقوات المسلحة ومؤسسات الدولة. هذه الفعالية اليوم كانت تحت عنوان حاملو راية إيران، تم التأكيد فيها على التمسك بالنهج الوطني، تعزيز الهوية الإيرانية، أيضا الحفاظ على الوحدة الوطنية والتماسك الاجتماعي الوعي ومواصلة الصمود والمقاومة في مواجهة التهديدات والعدوان والضغوط. طبعا شعارات داعمة للقيادة للقوات المسلحة، أيضا الأناشيد الثورية التي ترفع هنا والتي تحاكي الوطن، وأيضا هذه الأنشودة التي نسمعها الآن هي مخصصة للسيد الشهيد علي خامنئي. أيضا كان هناك خطبة سياسية تحدث فيها عن الحرب والدبلوماسية بأنهما ليسا مسارين متوازيين، إنما هما امتداد لاستراتيجية واحدة يتقدم أحدهما أو يتراجع وفق مقتضيات اللحظة، والتأكيد على أن القوة العسكرية والسيادة الإيرانية على مضيق هرمز سيصبحان وسيلة لإعادة صياغة شروط التفاوض وإجبار الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية على التعامل مع يعني ما يحققه الميدان من مكاسب، أي أن ما سيتحقق في الميدان من إنجازات عسكرية ستمنح كورقة رابحة وقوية للمفاوض الإيراني. في المقابل أيضا المفاوض الإيراني سيمنح الإنجازات العسكرية الشرعية السياسية وقانونية، شرط أن تفضي إلى تفاهمات قابلة للتنفيذ بما يضمن حقوق الشعب الإيراني والمصالح الوطنية. إذا نحن كنا اليوم أمام ليلة فيها الكثير من الوعي والحرص والمسؤولية الوطنية التي يترجمها اليوم الشعب الإيراني بعد أكثر من 4 أشهر وهو حاضر ومرابط في الساحات دعما لقواته المسلحة. محمد.
Yes, so that is the Al Mayadeen correspondent in Tehran last night. She does speak Arabic. That was translated at the bottom there. She is in Tehran every night. She's very smart. Now, also, you may notice she's not wearing a niqab. She's wearing a hijab. They're not making her cover her face. Do you notice that? It's way more progressive in Iran now, based on the transition. The ruling class is still militant, but they're more progressive. They're both more progressive and more militant. They're hardliners internationally. Domestically, they are pretty intense when it comes to anti-regime sentiment, but they're more modern. Okay, there is a time she would not have been able to show her face on the street in Iran. I just want to be, because people talk so much about Iran being this very oppressive society. It's changing. And also they would call Western society oppressive. It's kind of like the debate between Rousseau and Hobbes, quite honestly. What is more oppressive? Being in a state of nature that's bella omnia contra omnes, the war of all against all, poor, nasty, brutish, and short, that's life. Or being in a civil society where you don't have the war of all against all, but you have chains on, basically. Okay? What's more oppressive? Rousseau would say civil society is more oppressive, and we put garlands of flowers on our chains, okay, in order to distract us. Hobbes would be like, no, the state of nature is far more oppressive. It's way worse. And that's kind of, by analogy, the debate between Western culture and, using an example here, Iranian culture. Iranian culture would argue, speaking very broadly, that Western culture is very oppressive. They would take a Rousseauian line on it and say, you're just over there, just pretending, you're living in this suspended state of reality and just like pretending everything's fine because you're like on opiates, basically, literally and figuratively. And so you're not actually thinking about what you call freedom. You're just kind of going along with mass cultural trends that actually degrade you in some regard and are not refined and don't have any cultural value. And so therefore you are enslaved. And so they look at us, I'm speaking broadly, they look at Western culture as if we're insane. And then to hear us invoke the term freedom, they're like, do these people even know like what the distinction is between pre-civil society and civil society? Do they know what they're talking about? That's the Iranian position. They're waiting for us to kind of develop this sort of refined philosophical understanding of civil society, and frankly, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. And that's just not how Americans think. They think like everything that happens in America is the most important thing in the entire world. They're baffled. Americans are literally baffled when you tell them that the World Cup has more people that watch it than the Super Bowl. They're literally astounded. They think like the Super Bowl is the most important thing in the entire world. It has like 130 million viewers on a good year. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just traveled a lot. So for me, it's easier to understand this, like the concept of this. But for Americans, they think of Iranians as completely enslaved. Most like Republicans, they're working on a new one. Republicans are working on a new understanding of Iran after this war. Democrats, I don't want to go down this road, but Democrats are the kind of people who would, in the name of liberal tolerance, go to Iran and be like, you have to have like LGBTQ services. That, I'm not kidding you. There are people in the United States who think they're going to go to Gaza and get Hamas to have like an LGBTQ bureau. And like, listen, you can love whoever you want, as long as it's not a child or an animal. I don't care who you love. But like, you can't, that's not going to work. So the liberals are out of their mind. I don't mean, not all the liberals, but like, these are people who dress up in frog costumes and go to like federal agents and scream at them and then assert that that's like an economic policy. And I must reiterate for my dear friend Water Under the Fridge, who loves this line, dressing up in a frog costume and yelling at federal agents is not economic policy. Likewise, like setting up an LGBTQ bureau in Gaza and Tehran is not international diplomatic policy. It's a farce. So we're not putting the liberals in charge of understanding Iran either. But my point is, nobody in the West, whether liberal or Republican, actually understands the way that Iranian society functions, or the way its politics work, the country of Iran's politics, or its history, or its religious sects, or its governmental sects. They all just make these ridiculous assumptions. And therefore, Iran has the upper hand, because they understand us. And whether their criticism is right or wrong, I don't know. It really depends on if you're a Hobbesian or a Rousseauian, whether you agree with them. But we don't even have a basis yet to understand them as a culture. Not people in America do. Some academics. But as a culture, America doesn't even... That's why there's so much bafflement among the polity domestically. Nobody understands Iran, or what they're doing, or how they function, or why we're fighting them, quite frankly. And so it leads to this very alienated cultural discourse. It's kind of strange to watch. But yeah, Americans, we got to revamp. You must understand. Ghislaine Maxwell's father took over the interest, the publishing interest of our public school textbooks in the 90s. America has not had critical thinking as a foundation of its educational system in decades, because the people that were running the country were not running it for the benefit of Americans. They were stripping it of its resources. You can call them the Khashoggi class, give me my paintings back. You can call it the Epstein class, whatever you want to call it. They stripped us of our resources and then dumbed us down through an educational curriculum that was, at best, propaganda, at worst, conditioning. So, we got to seriously think about that as a country, how we're going to fix it. I don't really know well, I know what I want to do. We got to revamp the American educational system and refocus the benefits of American resource production, speaking broadly, back onto yields for the American polity. And we got to strip this predatory class, the money changers, as Jesus would say, of their influence and power. I'm going to do it. I'll turn over the damn table myself if I have to. Alright? So, But yeah, that's really where this all comes from. Makes me very mad. I really don't like what was done to my country. It's disgusting, frankly. My countrymen are very nice, and countrywomen. They're very good people at heart. But they were manipulated and like mass traumatized and then conditioned and stripped of their autonomy and ability to critically think and stripped of their access to knowledge and flooded with just senseless content, slop, as they would call it, and overwhelmed and dumbed down. And it really makes me mad because it's a great country. People here are very nice, but some people seriously tried to hurt us. The KGB in particular. That's why I hate Putin. All right, I know what he did. Please. Adnan Khashoggi and Epstein may have worked with other intel agencies, but that was a KGB SVR op through and through. And Putin's slamming his fist on the table because he's like, damn it. The West is going to realize that the prostitutes and the drugs and all of that was me, and they're going to stop buying prostitutes and doing hard drugs. And therefore they're going to actually become a engendered polity again. Yeah, well, F you too, Mr. Putin. That's why I so heavily support Ukraine. I want to see your entire country held accountable for what you did to my people. I know it was you. I know it was them. It's a classic cage. It takes generations to do that to a polity. And they did it to us. And our own people sold us out. Our own intelligence community, our own judges, our own police. They thought they were like running brothels and getting access to drugs and girls. What they really did is sold our damn country out to Russia. Damn commies. That's why I say you did that and you're still in this country. You should run. You should leave. It's going to get really brutal. Juridically. I wouldn't stay around to see what happens. Juridically. A lot of people are going to go to prison. Rightfully so. Damn commies. Sold out my country. But that's how we got dumbed down. It took 3 generations, and then we caught them. Thank God we caught them with the Epstein files. If we did not catch them, this empire would have fallen. This country would have fallen. But we caught them. Now they're all scurrying like little rats into their holes, which they should be doing, because they hurt the kids and the animals. Don't get me started on the doggy video. So anyway, I think Iran knows all this. Iran knows it was Russia. Iran knows we're completely captured. That's why they don't really hate American people. They kind of feel bad for us. They hate the governing class, the ruling class of the United States, and they're out to get them. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any sympathy for the KGB or for Putin or for anyone who conspired with him. I want to see them all go to prison. That's treason against my country, and I want them all found and held accountable. Every single one of them. Even the ones that didn't know, even the ones that were supporting the operation, patroning the brothels, I want them held accountable. They enabled it. And I want the ones who knew about it, I want them held the most accountable in the federal system. The harshest penalties possible. No deals. No deals for spies. No deals. 0 deals. I don't care if Putin slams his fist on the table until he can't move his fingers anymore. No deals. No spy swaps. No deals. Put me in charge. Hashtag Tao for President. Put me in charge. Watch what I'll do. I'll get them all. Every single one of them. I'll find every single one of them. I will commie hunt like you have never seen before. You think the trade unions in New York in the 30s was good hunting? I will find every commie, every Russian spy, and I will expel them all. I will strip them of their citizenship after they serve time in federal prison, and then I'll send them to Siberia. They like Putin so much, they can go hang out there. Vermont Bread, if you have a link to it, drop it in the chat, and I will watch the new Lego. If it's a new Lego, it might be an old Lego. Anyway, I'm mad. I think Iran's in a delicate position too. I don't think they really know what to do in light of the fact that, you know, most of America's ruling class is controlled by the Ruskies. So, you know, damn Ruskies. All right, let's take a look at a video from Hadath, South Lebanon last night, which was subject to our Israeli artillery shelling. You're going to see it right in here in the beginning of the video. Oh, this is a towel cigar. Classic Clippy. I won't go that far. We're not going to have HUAC. We don't need another one of those. But, yeah, you know, a little commie hunting never hurt anyone. It's good for America. We haven't had a good old-fashioned commie hunt in a while. You know? Putin pulled the wool right over our eyes, tricked us. Made us think that the commie threat wasn't even real anymore. No. Did you see what the federal government did yesterday, by the way? Designated extreme communist, well, they called it left-wing, extreme communist international cooperation a terrorist threat akin to jihadi terror. Huh. Interesting. Wonder what that means for communists operating domestically in the United States. That doesn't sound good. Akin to jihadi terror groups. That opens up a substantial number of federal laws that they can use against those damn commies. And I say get them. Anybody who worked with Putin. I highly doubt those people are listening. But anyone who worked with Putin domestically, get them. Rail them. Just rail them. Everybody hates Putin anyway. He bombed a church, that 1,000-year-old church. Everybody hates him. There's not a part. Even the Chinese hate Putin. The Chinese government hates Putin. They yelled at him the other day. All right, he can't win in Ukraine. All right, he has no geopolitical influence. He hides in a bunker most of the time. All right, so therefore, let's do it. Let's get the commies and every single Russian spy that helped destroy this country, including dumbing down my fellow countrymen and women so that you could extract resources from them without them realizing it. I'm mad. This is the picture of the civilian car that I was ranting about earlier. I was very mad about this. How can you not have active intelligence to wait for the civilians? Instead, we destroyed a car and killed 2 people. The bodies are not in the image, thank God. Now, here are these bridges. All right, I'm going to show you each one. This is the first one. So that's Bandar Abbas. That's the mountain to the northeast, and that's the bridge. Okay? We showed it on the big map earlier. If you want to know the coordinates, it's lat 2707 11.6 north, longe 55 44 50.3 east. This is what happened to that bridge again. This is what started this. You must understand, it was not a minor skirmish. It was a drastic escalation. Immediately afterwards, the U.S. HIMARS position in Kuwait was bombed again and destroyed. The fire from this one gets very big. This is not the same position as the other night. Look at that fire. This is not the same position as the other night. They hit us 7 times last night in Kuwait alone. Okay, I'm going to show you more footage from... Hold on. This is Umar Qasar base in Kuwait. No volume on this one. Hello, DD Tane. Good morning, my dear friend. Oh, God bless you to the person who's been supporting Tal Channel. You're all wonderful. Something will be filed on the Karen Reed docket today, most likely before 1 p.m. I'll keep an eye on Kyle Sharkey's feed for that filing. Judge Gilday ordered that things be filed before 1 p.m. today, so we'll see if anyone meets that. Here is footage now going to the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, where U.S. forces boarded the MT Wen Yao in the Gulf of Oman on July 16th. This is footage from CENTCOM. They boarded a ship. That's U.S. forces on a ship. That is certainly U.S. forces on a ship. No smoking. What? How dare you? How dare you deprive the sailors of their cigarettes? If sailors on the Charles de Gaulle can drink 2 glasses of wine a day, then our U.S. sailors can smoke, and they can drink 2 glasses of American-made beer a day. I'm not really sure about wine. I think, I guess it's okay. It has heart benefits. I'll speak to the doctors about it if you elect me. But just so you know, if you elect me, I'm going to allow all U.S. Navy personnel who are at sea to drink 2 glasses, 12 ounces, 2 glasses of American-made beer, has to be fully American-made, per day while on deployment. That's going to be one of my foundational policies, okay? So, now, some of the other branches might get mad about this, but listen, they're on a boat, all right? So we got to give them alcohol. That's my plan. All right? Hashtag vote for towel. Oh, okay. No, if the boat has oil on it or gas, you can't smoke on it. That's probably a good idea. I understand now. Listen, I'm not a sailor. I've never been on a boat, and I've certainly never been on a boat with gas or oil, and I don't want to go on a boat with gas or oil. I wouldn't like that very much. All right, now I'm going to show you what I spoke about earlier, which is confirmation via satellite footage that the Crown Plaza Hotel in Duqm, Oman, DUQM, which hosts U.S. troops, was hit. Four glasses a day. If there's a 4 glasses a day, okay, water under the fridge. You can be secretary of alcohol disbursements to the troops, and we can do 4 glasses a day. I'll allow it. Listen, I'm going to do a great job as Commander-in-Chief. The troops are going to be thrilled, and all the people in the Navy are going to go, they're going to love it, all right? They get 4 glasses of beer per day, 8 ounces per glass. See what I did there? Water under the fridge. I gave you a little, took a little. Give a little, take a little. So their total amount goes up, but the glasses get smaller. I'm a genius. Well, the reality is, listen, if the French are going to give their sailors wine every day, we can't have our sailors with access to less things than the French have. Does that make any sense? The French will think they're better than us, and that's not happening. I think the French are fine. Don't tell them about my plans to conquer northern France and make it Normantown. I've already said too much. Anyway, my point is, that's not happening. If the French can do it, we can do it. That's a baseline principle of American existence. Just think about the French Revolution. Something about some guy named Metternich? I don't remember. Anyway, so here's that hotel in Oman. I'm clearly in a mood today. I blame what you're about to see next for my mood. All right, it got a little rough this morning. I'm in a mood. What do you want me to tell you? All right, now I showed you that footage of the U.S. bases in Kuwait. That's just a zoomed-in footage of those fires burning. Now I'll show you a different angle of the fire that started at the U.S. base in Kuwait. Absolutely, Shannon, you got it. You can go to any ship you want. You have to go around the fleet. Just make sure everything's okay. Yes, Classic Clippy, you can be Secretary of Arts and Humanities. I'll allow it. This was the U.S. base in Kuwait. It was destroyed last night. Listen, there have been some fires that were clear destruction of HIMARS positions, which also happened last night. What happened last night, though, was our base was destroyed. And we have not retaliated for this. Oh, Liquid, I didn't see your comment, but if you're not feeling well, I hope you feel better, my dear friend. Sean, you can absolutely be the minister of peace. Your job is to declare war on anyone who doesn't want to make peace. Okay? I know, you might be saying that's an oxymoron. Well, national security is an oxymoron, if you think about it. They're just words. Democracy is just a word when the people are starving. And the world doesn't believe that we're fighting for freedom because we effed the Middle East and gave birth to a demon. Well, Immortal Technique would say now it's over, open season with the CIA booking his crib. Trapped in a ghetto region like a Palestinian kid where nobody gives a F whether you die or you live. But I know the truth, and the price is my life. And when I'm gone, they'll probably sing a song about Tao. But that's okay. I enjoyed that. I got most of those lyrics right. I know that verse by heart. I like Immortal Technique a lot. Maybe we'll listen to that at the end of the stream. It's a good song. What's that song? What's that song that I was even quoting from? Immortal Technique. Trapped in a ghetto region like a Palestinian kid. I need to get the song so we can play it later. The Fourth Branch. That's a really good song. These were the 2 bridges that were hit. There were actually 3 to 5 bridges that were hit. Oh, God bless you, Rigged Outcome. One time, somebody said to me that I speak in poetry, and I don't understand what that means, but I'm glad that it sounds nice. These are the 2 bridges that were hit in Iran last night, north of Bandar Abbas, strategically cutting off the city. Immortal Technique is definitely a poet, I'll tell you that. Okay, now I'm going to show you the actual impacts of the strike that set our bases on Kuwait in fire, and you can see our HIMARS were destroyed because they fly up in the air. This is Kuwait overnight, as you're waking up this morning on Towel News. Oh, I would like that Rigged Outcome. We'd have a great time. These Dog Lover, great question. Dog Lover asks, how is a burning bridge helping or hurting the U.S.? Those are bridges that link the southern Iranian port of Bandar Abbas to the rest of the country, and so therefore they're very important infrastructure. The Bandar Abbas is the city, the Iranian port city on the Strait of Hormuz. This is the Iranian hit on the American positions in Kuwait last night. There goes the HIMARS. Those are HIMARS exploding. Again, this is an Iranian hit overnight as you're waking up on an American HIMARS position. It was actually a massive strike that took out a substantial amount of the base in Kuwait. And those are HIMARS exploding everywhere. Those are very expensive missiles. $2 million at least. All of them just rocketing up in the air. Wildflower's like, I like your accent. It's like Boston in the South. Yeah, I'm a simple Southern Maine. All right, more footage last night from the U.S. bases in Kuwait. Which, the scale of the fires are much larger than every other night. But I can't tell you the extent of the damage, as there's no satellite imagery as of yet from Kuwait overnight. Yeah, this caused a lot of money. This cost a lot of money. Serious money. New damage at the 5th Fleet. It has been confirmed. So that's footage from Kuwait overnight. Good morning, American Toast. Good to see you. Mr. President said there are missiles everywhere. He doesn't know where they are. Yeah. I don't know if he's talking about our missiles or the Iranian missiles. I would imagine both of those statements, though, are true. Whether it applies to our missiles or their missiles. All right. Now I'm going to show you, I believe, what is more zoomed in footage. This was as the fires grew at the American base in Kuwait overnight. This is the American positions in Kuwait as you're waking up this morning on Towel News. This is the fires that were burning overnight at the American bases in Kuwait, the American base in Kuwait. This is the base, the American base in Kuwait on the Iraqi border. Sorry for the frame drop. Little turbulence, and there will be some turbulence today on Air Towel. Where did the displaced Americans go? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to this base, Peggy. I pray for the people there. This is the widest destruction at American bases we've seen. They will try to black it out because no side during a war likes to admit when they get hit. But that was a very bad night for American forces. And part of this, listen, if you've been watching this coverage for a while, part of it, unfortunately, is breaking state blackouts. I don't approve of them. I think people have a right to know where and what is happening and when it's happening and who did it and who it happened to. That's how I was trained as a journalist, and that's what I'm going to do. I understand my adrenaline is more controlled now. I'm concerned about escalation. But yes, you should be aware that I'm delivering to you news that most countries involved will not want you to know. It's just, even when it comes to Israel, they don't like when people report on attacks. They just don't. My standard, just so you know, for coverage on this channel, is I will not report troop movements in real time. If I have a video of a tank that I know was uploaded in real time, and it's showing the tank's position, I'm not going to show it. I'll hold it for 10-15 minutes. But in general, I'm not going to black anything out. I don't agree with that. I think that's unhelpful and undermines public trust in our representative form of government. Can't speak for other countries. 180-something countries watch this channel. But in my country, I believe people have a right to know. I ascribe to that mentality as argued in New York Times, VUS, the Pentagon Papers in 72. And I ascribe to it like Arconti and Maxim, unapologetically and constantly. God bless you, Peggy. This is Avaz last night, the Iranian city of Avaz. Ooh, that was loud. So he rightfully runs, but I'm sorry, I forgot to do the sound warning. I didn't know that was going to be that loud. Thank you, Nurse of Interest. God bless you. God bless you, Dee Dee Thames. It's so good to see you. But yes, any video can be very loud, even without a warning, and you should be aware of that as you listen to the clips. This is Bushehr, southern Iran, ladies and gentlemen. Bushehr, southern Iran. Overnight. I agree, Classic Clippy. Lack of coverage most certainly hampered U.S. morale and efficacy and support in the Vietnam War. One of my favorite films is Good Morning Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam. I couldn't do that. I'm not like him. I can't do voices. Listen, Robin Williams, best to ever do it. Ladies and gentlemen, no one will ever do it quite like Robin Williams. But I'll tell you, that movie, the epitome of his acting career in so many ways. Some would say Good Will Hunting. Some would say Patch Adams. I would say Good Morning Vietnam. Literally, the typification of Robin Williams' style. He has so much range in that movie, and it's such high-brow socio-political commentary, both meta-commentary on the inner workings of the Army, which was great, and then also like meta-commentary on the U.S. relationship with, and the Army's relationship with civilians in Vietnam. And I won't spoil the movie with you, but if you know anything about the Viet Cong, nothing is ever as it seems. And you might be like, Tyler, do you have an encyclopedic knowledge of like everything? I don't know. Somebody said I'm like a walking encyclopedia. I just know a lot of things. I like to know everything about every civilization. That's why I listen to Will and Ariel Durant's books. All right, so now I'm going to show you footage from the base in Kuwait that's a little more extended now. This is an attack on the American base in Kuwait from overnight.
اسمع هاي الثالثة فيلم اكشن وعالي ها جاي نسمع اصوات ولا
لا لا تصوت شغله يا عيني والله
يا الله سيارات لو صواريخ صواريخ
صاروخ يهز يلا يطيح لا صوت ما لا من يطيح على شنو
جاي اسمع الصوت انت مال وش بعدين طق لا لا صاروخ
هسه يعني
اذا اثنين هسه صاروخ اجي روح لبيتكم روح لبيوتكم وضعيه كلش البيوت هم راح ينهدم من ورا الهزه الربده بيتها يهتز
هذا قاعدين هنا ببيت ربعنا تصوير كامل انت
ها
تصوير كامل منطقه
اسمع هاي الثالثه فيلم اكشن وعالي ها جاي نسمع اصوات ولا
لا لا تصوت شغله يا عيني والله
يا الله
هاي شنو
سيارات لو صواريخ صواريخ
صاروخ يهز يلا يطيح لا صوت ما لا من يطيح على شنو
جاي اسمع الصوت انت مال وش بعدين طق لا لا صاروخ
هسه يعني
اذا اثنين هسه صاروخ اجي روح لبيتكم روح لبيوتكم وضعيه كلش البيوت
This is footage from Kuwait.
الربده بيتها يهتز
هذا قاعدين هنا ببيت ربعنا
These are American positions in Kuwait that were hit overnight. Okay, now I'm going to take you to video of another angle of the Iranian strike on the American bases in Kuwait overnight. Water under the fridge. Did we ever hear what the new cluster bomb from Iran was? Very prescient question, my friend. We did not find out what it is, but I saw it fired in the daytime over Suleimania, northern Iraq today, and I'm going to show you footage of it as soon as we get to it in the list. Excellent and prescient question. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for protecting the Great Lakes and saving the goats, and also being a voice for the unhurried and unheard. See what I did there? Hashtag save Razor and the goats.
سحبوا الناقه سحبوا الناقه سحبوا الناقه سحبوا الناقه سحبوا الناقه
Yes, Mishigama, we're getting there. That was just the clearest angle yet that I had of the Iranian strike on the American base in Kuwait overnight. In terms of what happened this morning, we will get there in 1 second. Here's a picture, a high-res picture of the American position in Kuwait overnight. high-res picture of the American position in Kuwait overnight. That's the best I can do for you. There was more than just this fire, but that's the highest res picture I have come across. A lot of people will want updates on the U.S. bases. They will be concerned because I believe this is the Arkansas National Guard, the 146th Field Regiment. You might want to double check that, but some people actually need to know this information, so I have to give all of it to you. Now, Mr. Defense Secretary got this from Vahid. This is the picture this morning that was making the rounds. The Maritime Control Tower in Chabahar is gone. It's gone this morning. Oh, Chris says, Grant, towels, pre-roll cigar on me. God bless you, Chris. You are wonderful. Thank you all so much for your support of Towel Channel. You are a super towel, Chris, and thank you for being you, and thank you for being so wonderful. But in light of all of your wonderful compassion, the intensity of the moment is most certainly, towel is away. And as you can see, this picture, although the defense secretary posted it, came from Vahid. That is the tower falling. Yes, Otto, and a Bahraini Bapco oil facility was also hit. I have footage of that coming up. We have a long recap to go. It was a heavy, intense night. One of the most intense of the ceasefire. Kitty Coco says, I want to know how Trump got the burn bags from Obama's administration. I am prior U.S. Navy and assigned to burn bags destruction as collateral duty long before Obama, though. Oh, we'll get to the speech from Mr. President overnight. Water under the fridge says, might as well get dipped in oil and covered in keef. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be putting any petroleum on my cigars, but God bless you for your support of Towel Channel. Oh, it did that weird thing where I can't comment on that super chat, water under the fridge, so I'm just going to comment down below. Sometimes super chats don't let you comment. I don't know. Most of them do. But you can see in real time, it'll just like do a spinny circle sometimes. But then it will go away on the next one. Oh, I also found out that you can't hype live videos yet. Somebody asked me to look into this. It might become a thing, I don't know. But right now you can't hype live videos just yet. Appeals are made for walking. What a great username. Thank you for becoming a Towel Channel member. Enjoy your Super Towel emojis. Doing a little mental decompression break here for you all, by the way. You now have unlocked all sorts of fun emojis. Bunny Towel's dog, Bunny Towel Mom's dog, Kofi is an emoji. You got sheep emojis. You got goat emojis. Towel-based emojis. Chloe the dog in a wig. She's an undercover informant for the Doggy Witsec program. Don't tell anyone. Yuri Buchanan's lawyer, Lenny Keston, the other day almost blew her cover. He was trying to say she was alive. I was looking at him like, are you about to reveal an undercover Doggy Witsec program informant location, sir? I didn't. I almost asked him if he was aware Chloe was in the Doggy Witsec program, but I was like, I gotta maintain some level of professional responsibility, and I can't be asking about Chloe the dog in a wig. Even though I have known that man for like 30 years. He was like, oh yes, I remember you playing on the, whatever it was, like the bouncy castle with my children. And I was like, yeah, my dad was fun. He used to have these like May parties where he'd get these bouncy castles, and I would jump in the bouncy castle. All right, now I'm going to show you the Bapco oil facility in the industrial area, Sitra in Bahrain, which was indeed just mentioned. God bless you, appeals are made for walking. Literally one of the best usernames I've ever come across in my entire towel life. That's a Bapco facility in Bahrain burning. This was this morning, so now we're getting into the Iranian retaliation after America blew bridges up. Now I'm going to show you the remains of the Chabahar watchtower. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the watchtower, it took America 4 days. Okay, the watchtower in Chabahar over the Strait of Hormuz is gone. You are seeing on the ground footage from Chabahar, Iran this morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the watchtower is gone. All along the watchtower has a new meaning. Somebody tell Mr. Dillon, we need a new song. Hashtag Chloe the dog in a wig. Sorry, someone posted that emoji. I don't know what to tell you. This is an immense escalation, and I don't understand how all of our troops got hit and we just didn't do anything. This is from, again, before Iran hit back. This is this morning, the result of our attack in Iran. We took out the maritime watchtower in Chabahar. It's gone. All right. Now I'm going to show you a photo of the remnants of the maritime watchtower in Chabahar. Okay, from a different angle. You just saw an angle on the ground. That's the tower. Okay, that's it. That's an image of it falling. That's the remains of the tower. Okay, right down there. We'll zoom in. You see the remnants? So that was the tower. The tower's gone. Okay? That was the Chabahar Maritime Control Tower. It is completely destroyed. And that all of those images come from Vahid, although they were posted by U.S. officials. Now, I need to take you to Chabahar overnight or this morning, which shows a U.S. Reaper drone in the air. That's a very expensive drone. After Chabahar was hit, you can see the Reaper flying away. Yeah, Iran's got a lot of rebuilding to do this morning. Breaking. Dana Gas has suspended operations in the UAE, DANA, at all main production facilities in the Khor Mor, KOHR-MOR gas field in Iraq due to credible security threats. So it's a UAE company, Dana Gas, suspending all operations at the Khor Mor gas field in Iraq due to credible security threats. Good morning, Standing Stones. This is a Reaper drone over Chabahar. Neither do I, Nurse of Interest. I'm with you on that one. Listen, my rule is I call it how I see it. So if one side hits civilians, I call it out. If the other side hits civilians, I call it out. If one side fires a missile and misses and hits people they claim to be, like, helping, I call it out. For example, Iran bombed a nail salon in the occupied West Bank and killed 3 Palestinian women, including a 17-year-old teenager. America bombed a school. I got really mad about that in Minab. America bombed a hospital 3 days ago. I got really mad about that. Israel sometimes just bombs ambulances and is like, well, yeah, there were tunnels under the ambulances. There were no damn tunnels under the ambulances. They just bombed them. They double tap first responders. I call that out. I don't care who does it or where, I'll call it out. One time, Hezbollah got really mad and fired drones into northern Israel. One of them just hit someone's house. They didn't mean to hit the house. They tried to hit like a vehicle or something, I don't know. But they hit a gas line under a house, and it blew the damn house up. I called that out. One time, Iran was launching missiles. They fired a Khorram Shahar. The Khorram Shahar hit like some elderly couple's home who couldn't run to their shelter. They died. I got really mad. Now, obviously, America bombed multiple residential blocks in Tehran. I got really mad. I just tend to get mad when people hurt civilians. I don't know what to tell you. It's not an ideological thing, but it's just the rules. I'm a stickler for the damn rules. Now I'm going to take you to the Syria-Iraqi border where a large shipment of weapons from Iran was found going into Lebanon, destined for Hezbollah. Rockets, drones, and more. This was yesterday on the Syria border with Lebanon. Ah, that's right. The ambulances print 3D tunnels as they go, of course. Why didn't I think of that? That's a good one. The IDF should start using that one. I don't mean to be sardonic, by the way, but you can only watch so much ridiculousness from states during armed conflict that doesn't really make a lot of sense, where you just start becoming jaded. You really do. You don't trust what the states say. You don't trust anybody who's really acting in good faith. You don't believe anyone. I'm talking about the state actors involved. You just become very jaded, and it comes out in sardonic mockery because eventually it becomes reducto ad absurdum. And sometimes they just act with no logic. So, yeah. Alright, there it is. Here's another view of the Chabahar Watchtower, the moment of its destruction. This is a very serious, that plus the bridges was a very serious escalation. So you are looking at the footage of Chabahar's Marine Watchtower the moment it collapsed. I do not have a video, but I have that still photo for you. This one is actually higher quality than the one posted by Mr. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. That's brutal. I mean, Pete, do you understand? People were likely in there, although it was heavily damaged. Unless they knew it was coming, people were around there. People probably died. This just happened a couple hours ago. We're in the silence right now, by the way, is not for lack of anger. There is a roar coming. I'm not really sure from who or when, but it's going to be immediately because a lot of people died overnight. And I'm not sugarcoating this. A lot of civilians in Iran were killed when those bridges were bombed. At least 2 men that I can confirm. At least 1 woman who was 17. At least 7 other women, okay, were injured. 3 of whom were killed, at least. And 8 men were killed, and 7 to 11 more were injured. That's just preliminary. Civilian casualties. And I don't know casualty figures from what Iran did, but clearly they were really upset. And the reason I know this is very serious, and why I'm just kind of taking you through it, using my calm tone, is that there's media blackouts of what's happening. And that is a telltale sign of serious escalation. The countries try to do it to keep people calm, but what a media blackout does when people break the blackout is it actually causes more concern. That's why I oppose them, fundamentally. Not just ideologically on the right to know grounds. I oppose it because it actually backfires and Streisand's the blackout. Which is why advanced countries don't black out information. You can keep your polity more calm by telling them what's happening. The last thing you want to do is black out information from a consumer base, a public population that can and will find the information through social media. So that's why I'm encouraging my colleagues. I've tried to tell my colleagues, you gotta tell people what's happening, or they're not gonna trust you when bad things happen. And when you try to parachute in and cover it, no one's gonna trust you because you blacked out everything leading up to that. And people are gonna think you're dumb. They're not gonna think that you have some access and are protecting anyone. They're gonna think you're dumb. And we have a problem. If the media is not going to do it, which is fine, the legacy media is really not capable of covering this. Some Arabic sources can do it. Al Jazeera can do it. Al Mayadeen can do it. Al Manah can do it. Al Arabia can do it. Okay, IRIB can do it. Tasneem can do it. A few Arabic sources are capable of digesting real-time social media information and breaking state blackouts. But the West, are you kidding me? The corporate media establishment has flown the coop. It's jumped the shark. It literally jumped the shark. They're irrelevant. And you can tell they're so bitter about it. Not all of them. But a lot of the older guys and girls that work in that field are so bitter that they're irrelevant. It's kind of weird. It's more like, why don't you just be good or be good at it, or just stop doing it? If you can't keep up, just stop. And let people do it who can keep up. So that's why I get frustrated with my colleagues. And it's not them. It's the like powers that be at the corporate networks. But it's like, okay, fine. I'll take your viewers. We'll take your viewers. It's not just me. There's a lot of people who do independent coverage. Fine. You want to just give your audience share away? Okay. YouTube loves it. They're fighting for us over in the UK. The BBC's response in the UK was to try to make a law that they have to be ranked higher in the algorithm on YouTube than other news channels. I like to think that's in part because I embarrassed them on their lackadaisical coverage of the security threat at Gold Ears Green during the war regarding those Hertzala ambulances. I told people to complain. It took 4 hours for the BBC to cover that. I said, why? You said, call them and ask them why you're paying a license fee when they can't even cover a serious development in the capital of London, in the capital of England, London, as it's happening. I got all mad. People were leaning out their window in the city of London, filming the explosions and posting, being like, listen, I don't know what's going on because the BBC and nobody's reporting on it, but there's these explosions and there's this fire down like in London. I don't know what's going on. I was like, that's it. That's it. Got all mad. I got more mad than when the New York Times stole my freaking Kathy Rumler reporting and wouldn't credit me. I got all mad. I yelled at him. All right, let's take a listen to the report from Press TV. Just a clip. This is an Iranian station. I use it to understand the Iranian position within the past few hours.
Well, an investigation carried out by Press TV has found no evidence to support the U.S. president's recent claim about Iran having released an American prisoner. The investigation also revealed that no spy has been released by Iran in recent days. The denial came after Donald Trump announced in an early Thursday post on Truth social media that an American citizen detained in Iran has been released. Trump said the American, whom he claimed was arrested during Joe Biden's administration in 2024, has been freed, thanking Iran for the gesture while also insulting his predecessor. Trump has a history of being misled by false sources. Examples to the point include his claim about the imminent execution of 8 female prisoners following the January 2026 riots in Iran, and his report of a young man's execution in Karaj. Iran's judiciary had previously dismissed Trump's claims regarding the execution of 8 women, stating that Trump was misled once again by fake news.
So that's the Iranian report this morning. Mr. President Trump apparently was misled and there was no American released. Sean, you know what that reminds me of? What's in Al Capone's vault? Hashtag Geraldo Rivera. And just Geraldo Rivera. That's hilarious. All right, here's an overview of the Iranian strikes last night, being more serious now. I'm sorry, you get a little mental decompression. It was a tough night. My name's Grant Smith Ellis. Good morning on Towel News. It's coming up on 9:30 a.m. as the sun rises here at the War Desk in Boston. Most certainly the War Desk this morning, without a doubt. It is 3:30 or so p.m. in South Africa, 4:30 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and 5 p.m. coming up on 5 p.m. in Tehran, Iran. It's Friday, July 17, 2026, and my name is Grant Smith Ellis on Towel News, youtube.com/@GrantSmithEllis. Now, here are the positions that were hit overnight by Iran. The Jazeerat al-Ghanam in Oman, the naval and air radars in Salma were hit. The Al-Sakir Air Base in Bahrain was hit. The P-8 Poseidon position and helicopters were both hit. In Kuwait, the HIMARS site was hit. 2 different positions. We saw one of them. Missile defense radars were destroyed. U.S. ammunition depots were blown up. 2 HIMARS launchers and ammo depots were destroyed. And the U.S. Forces and Logistics Center was hit. In Jordan, at the Al-Tanf, A-L space T-A-N-F, I don't know what's there, the radar system was destroyed. I guess there was a secret special operations base there because their helicopters were blown up and a large number of soldiers were struck. In Mufaqua Salty Base in Jordan, which I think is the blue base, U.S. fighter jets and fuel tanks were both hit. So that is your overnight recap. That was July 16th through 17th, overnight in the U.S. through 10 a.m., or in the Middle East through 10 a.m. Now I'm going to take you to Erbil in Iraqi Kurdistan, where drone attacks hit this morning from Iran, including some intercepts. That's a pretty close-up footage of a drone intercept. Hello, Kevin from South Boston. Good morning, my friend. Yes, I do remember. I'm pretty sure Osama bin Laden was working with the Saudis to do 9/11, and then U.S. intelligence worked through Adnan Khashoggi and Jeffrey Epstein, or at least his operation, to blame it on Iraq and Afghanistan to help PNAC conquer the Middle East. But now the world doesn't believe that we're fighting for freedom, as I mentioned earlier. This is footage from Erbil earlier this morning, where Iran's drones hit. That's footage from a car. So the explosion's over here, and the car's moving on a highway. More footage from Erbil in the north of Iraq. Oh, interceptor footage. Don't see that every day. So this is Erbil, northern Iraq. So nothing, the previous footage is positive because it's an interceptor doing its job. This footage is of a hit, although I do not know what struck or where it struck. So when I say interceptor footage, that means that the target flying through the air was struck and took down. That is a positive. That, a hit, is not positive. Okay, now I'm going to show you what happened this morning, 4 hours ago. It was reported, although the attack occurred overnight, there was an incident 19 nautical miles, according to the UK Maritime Trade Office, east of Kasab, Oman. A tanker has reported being hit by an unknown projectile, causing minor structural damage to the port side. All crew are safe and accounted for, no environmental impact has been reported, and the vessel is continuing to its next port of call. Okay, then there was another UK MTO advisory, not released till today, although about an attack on the 15th, where on July 15th, at a time that is not reported, UK MTO received a report of an incident involving a merchant vessel and military forces in the Arabian Gulf, near Karg Island, but kind of south of Bubiyan Island near Kuwait, and south of Basra, south of Avaz, and then off the coast of Saudi Arabia, off the east coast of Saudi Arabia, north of Bahrain, and north of Qatar, and north of the UAE by a lot, and north of the Strait of Hormuz by a lot. Reports indicate that the tanker was subject to interactions as part of ongoing military activity in the region. Who the hell knows what that means? Now I'm going to show you the report out of Kuwait this morning. I initially saw, this is probably the most shocking thing that happened this morning. I was watching the live cam of Kuwait at like 2:30 in the morning. That's when I woke up. And the live cam had smoke burning at like 3 in the morning. And I was like, what's that? Well, a desalination and power plant was hit in Kuwait. Okay? And if you look at the statement in Arabic from the Ministry of Electricity, Water, and Renewable Energy, if you speak Arabic, you'll know that it's saying that it was hit. And citizens were asked to reduce power consumption. Now, let me show you. Oh, by the way, also this morning, off the coast of Yemen, although it's attributed to Somali pirates, there was a vessel 65 nautical miles south of Al-Makalla in Yemen. Military authorities, this was this morning at 8 a.m. UTC, reported that the vessel was boarded by unauthorized personnel while traveling east in the Gulf of Aden. Okay. So I mentioned to you about the bridges that were hit. Okay, I'm going to give you a full summary right now if you're just tuning in of what happened overnight. Let's do it. Take it away, British reporter Towel. Anyway, this is an Iranian source, so
Conversation.
it could be biased.
The US began its desperate madness attacks and Trump greenlighted war crimes. A total of 5 to 6 bridges in Hormozgan province were targeted. The Griver Bridge, connecting Bandar Abbas, Kumeya, and La. The bridge after the village of Latadan, Kalmatli, on the return route from Bandar Abbas, Kumeya, and La. 2 bridges on the route to Kahorstan, La. The unfinished bridge, connecting Bandar Kumeya, Keshvar, and Bandar Abbas. The bridge in the village of Maro, in the Kumeya County. Shabahar Maritime Tower was targeted, again, and destroyed by the US. A railway station, west of Bandar Abbas. Civilian airport in Iran Shah, southeastern Iran. The IRGC says it targeted. Surprise attack, a covered special operations center in the Al Tanf military base, killing several US soldiers and hitting a radar system and several helicopters, in Syria. Missile detection and surveillance radar, possibly an MPQ-65, at a US base in Kuwait. Several weapon depots, 2 HIMARS missile launchers, a TACMS ballistic missile storage. Maritime surveillance radar at the Salama Rocks, Coin Islands in the Strait of Hormuz, in Oman. US air surveillance radar deployed in Oman's Ghanem area. Fighter jets, F-35, F-15, and F-16, and refueler aircrafts in 2 phases with ballistic missiles and drones. IRGC says several fighter jets and refueler aircrafts were destroyed and several sustained damage at the Muwafaq al-Salti AB, Jordan. IRGC ground forces carried out a rapid drone and missile operation against several positions housing US forces and mercenaries under US and Israeli command. Does not specify exact location. The statement began with describing attacks against HIMARS in Kuwait. It's possible it's Erbil. Iraq. IRGC announcing the attack on Jordan, additionally said the following attacks last year on Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. The US military moved its command center and transferred the headquarters of CENTCOM from Qatar to Muwafaq al-Salti in Jordan. There were some attacks IRGC did not officially announce, such as BAPCO in Bahrain, Kuwait saying its desalination plant suffered damage, etc. Image 1. Smoke coming from the BAPCO petroleum facilities after it was hit by Iran in Bahrain. Image 2. US Navy 5th Fleet Support Base in smoke, in Bahrain. Footage 3. Iranian attacks against HIMARS systems and ATACMS missile storage, in Kuwait. Footage 4. Smoke coming from a site inside Bahrain after it was struck by Iranian missiles. Written and updated at 17th of July, 12:32 Tehran time. Please note that I only listed confirmed hits by Iran. Qatar also experienced heavy attacks last night, but the IRGC did not make an announcement on it for some reason. It's funny because the Iranians themselves reported that Al Tanf was evacuated.
Well, there you go. Here's some new footage from the BAPCO facility in Bahrain. God bless you, rigged outcome. I agree. Just enjoy every day you wake up at this point. I think that's a good life motto. And try to be kind to people. For no reason. It makes life better. Now I'm going to read you a report from Tasneem regarding the injuries, civilian injuries, overnight in Iran. Go ahead, British reporter.
Conversation. Translated from Persian. More than 400 injured and 38 martyrs as a result of recent US attacks. Head of the Public Relations and Information Center of the Ministry of Health. Among this number, 22 injured women, 3 martyred women, 9 injured under 18 years old, and 1 martyr under 18 years old are observed. Rate this translation.
That is the report from Tasneem, the casualty assessment overnight. I showed you this footage from Bahrain. We were just looking at this. If you missed it, a BAPCO facility in Bahrain was hit. Brent oil is at 82 or 83 a barrel right now. Now I'm going to show you intercepts over the skies of Qatar last night. Very heavily blacked out. These are intercepts over Qatar. Okay. The UAE this morning strongly condemned the renewed Iranian aggression on Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and Jordan. There's the statement in Arabic. There's the statement in English. The UAE has condemned in the strongest terms the renewed hostile attacks by Iran targeting the Kingdom of Bahrain, the State of Kuwait, the State of Qatar, and the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan with missiles and drones. In a statement, the MFA confirmed that these hostile attacks constitute a flagrant violation of the sovereignty of the brotherly nations and a threat to their security and stability. The ministry reiterated the UAE's full solidarity with the Kingdom of Bahrain, the State of Kuwait, the State of Qatar, and the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and its support for all measures aimed at safeguarding their security and stability. Stop. So that was a cable from the UAE. Now I showed you the footage. By the way, if you missed it, this is the Chabahar Watchtower this afternoon. It's gone. The Chabahar Watchtower is gone. Okay, now I'm going to show you an analysis from Al Mayadeen. Okay, this is an Arabic clip translated to English regarding the current state of where this war is going. I thought it was very insightful, and there are captions, so let's take a listen and learn together.
سيدتي يعني هنا أعتقد هنا بيت القصيد بالضبط وهذا يستدعي
This is a academic PhD from Lebanon.
أقل يعني استحضار مقالين اليوم يعني أمس واليوم نشرت في نيويورك تايمز والواشنطن بوست وهما طبعا أكبر صحيفتين أمريكيتين وعالميتين. في مقالة نيويورك تايمز يعني ألخص التالي هو يعني يوجد أو يعطي إجابة موجزة على سؤالك الكريم. يقول بأنه الفارق بين دونالد ترامب وغيره من الرؤساء الأمريكيين بأن بعض الرؤساء الأمريكيين الذين ذهبوا إلى حروب في فيتنام، أفغانستان، العراق، كان لديهم استراتيجية واضحة بصرف النظر عن المآلات ما بعد الدخول البري إلى الدول الثلاث. يعني على سبيل المثال في العام 1991 كان الهدف من الحرب على العراق هو إخراج قوات صدام حسين من الكويت، حرب تحرير الكويت. نجح جورج بوش الابن في هذا الأمر. أيضا في العام 2001 بما يرتبط حصرا بأفغانستان وإزاحة وإسقاط نظام طالبان كان واضح تماما والكل يعرف بأن هذه الحرب جاءت بعد اعتداءات أيلول 2001. طيب فإذا كانت الاستراتيجية واضحة. الآن ماذا يريد ترامب؟ تسأل نيويورك تايمز. هو يقول ساعة يعني أنقل ما تقوله حرفيا، يقول ساعة أعلنا النصر أو ساعة يعلن النصر، بعد ذلك يعلن الحرب. أولا يريد إسقاط النظام، بعد ذلك لا يريد إسقاط النظام، طبعا يقصد النظام الإيراني. ثالثا يشير بمذكرة التفاهم، بعد ذلك يريد تعديل مذكرة التفاهم. بعد التوقيع على المذكرة أشاد بالقادة الإيرانيين ووصفهم بأنهم براغماتيين. عندما بدأت الجولة الثالثة من العدوان التي نعيشها في هذه الأيام هاجم القادة الإيرانيين بأقطع النوع. ماذا يريد؟ الإجابة هو لا يعرف ماذا يريد حرفيا. طيب نأتي أيضا إلى ما له علاقة يعني بمقالة الواشنطن بوست الكاتب المعروف ديفيد إرناتوس يعني أيضا يعني يعتبر بأنه هل يريد دونالد ترامب الذهاب إلى حرب أبدية مع إيران طالما لا يوجد استراتيجية له في هذه الحرب؟ طيب الحروب الأبدية أو الحروب الطويلة كما حدث في العراق، كما حدث في أفغانستان، كما حدث في فيتنام، كما حدث في الصومال أيضا في فترة من الفترات لن تؤدي إلى شيء. ولذلك على الرئيس دونالد ترامب أن يعلن موقفا واضحا وبالتالي أن يذهب إلى التفاوض مع الإيرانيين. هذا هو الموجب الآخر لهذه لمقالة الواشنطن بوست. هو حقيقة يعتبر دونالد ترامب بأن بعض إدارته وتحديدا وزير الخارجية ووزير الدفاع يعني ماركو روبيو وبيت هيكسس وهما من دعاة الحرب منذ البداية واستطاعا أن ينجحا أو نجحا في قيادة انقلابين. الانقلاب الأول متمثل في الاتفاق الإطار اللبناني الإسرائيلي، والانقلاب الثاني بأنه أصبح يعني نائب الرئيس الذي أشرف على التوقيع على مذكرة التفاهم الإيرانية الأمريكية نحاه جانبا. لذلك الآن هو يميل إلى الدعاة إلى دعاة الحرب. طيب الآن الرئيس ترامب يقول بأن أو قبل بداية الجولة الثالثة من العدوان بأن هذا العدوان أو هذه الحرب أو هذه الضربات كما سماها قد تستمر لأسبوعين أو ثلاثة. طيب ماذا بعد الأسبوعين أو الثلاثة؟ ماذا لو استمر الإيرانيون أيضا كما تتساءل الواشنطن بوست وغيرها في الرد وفي توسعة الحرب؟ هل يمكن أن يذهب إلى غزو بري؟ هل يمكن أن يحشد أكثر من نصف مليون جندي أمريكي؟ طبعا هذا يدخل في عالم المستحيل وفي عالم المخيلة. لذلك
I don't mean to cut him off, but the captions ended before while he was still speaking, because English is quicker sometimes than Arabic. By the way, these are Japanese Oreos that I got. They're really good. I don't really know why they're in stick form, but they're delicious, and I had a snack this morning. God bless you all. Thank you as well to the wonderful, hold on, who gave the golden goat? Where's the golden goat? Come on now. Ruby Erion 7465. I love that golden goat. It is great. God bless you. Thank you for your support. Ciao. All right, so that was a very interesting commentary about it's a political analyst and a professor, Tafik Shuman from Lebanon. Very interesting commentary on sort of where the U.S.'s strategic goals are going next. I thought it was interesting this morning. The IRGC this morning also made a bunch of announcements about what it had attacked. You listen to that summary. Before we go there, though, I have to show you an attack that somehow was caught on camera by Intel Cams and Towelization plant and power plant right near Kuwait's airport. I'm going to show you the footage that I recorded this morning. It was at 2:52 a.m. local time, 9:52 a.m. In local time for me, 2:52 a.m. local time for me, 9:52 a.m. in Kuwait, where Iran struck and caused a major fire, which was not claimed, although I know it happened, at a water desalination port. Now, how do I know? Well, Kuwait's airport is 15 miles south of Kuwait's capital, and right near the airport is a combined water and desalination plant, which is exactly what Kuwait said was hit. Here's the footage. So that was the sounds as the strike happened. Now you see the smoke beginning to rise. I'm going to speed this footage up to 2x for you. Watch what happens to this after this attack. Now, it's not an attack on an oil facility. It's an attack on a power plant and a water desalination plant. This is a very... Chris, I agree with you. Zorro Ranch is crucial to the Epstein story. This is a very important piece of footage, though, while I'm showing it. Take a look at the fire that spreads. This is not a small attack at all, by any means. I don't even know how Iran managed to cause this big of a fire. So this was just a few hours ago. This was at about 2:50 a.m. Eastern. I didn't record the clip till a few hours later. But this would be at about 9:52 a.m. in Kuwait. And you are looking at an Iranian strike on a combined water desalination plant, which is how Kuwait gets its drinkable water. They take salt out of the ocean water. And a power plant right next to the Kuwaiti airport. And I'm going to show you, this is at 2x speed, how big this fire gets. Because there's a picture you'll be able to see in some of the reports about this attack showing a fire taking over like half of the skyline of Kuwait. And it's because of what you're seeing right here. One second. Why are you reloading my own footage? It's okay. So I'm going to show you it grow in real time. I skipped ahead about a minute, and I'm going to put it back to 2x. And you're going to watch this fire grow. This is completely blacked out. There's a picture from after this attack, and Kuwait did say a water desalinization plant and power plant, a joint plant, was attacked. But this footage, no one's shown the extent of it. Iran didn't even claim this. That's how serious of an attack this was on Kuwait. And I'm going to show you, I was watching this fire go, and it gets very large. I have no idea what they bombed that caused this kind of fire or how they did it. Well, I know exactly the type of facility they bombed. What I do not know is what caused this fire. And by the way, it doesn't stop. I have it on 2x for you, and I'm going to show you it at its worst. The worst of it comes in about a few minutes, maybe like 10 minutes. But I want you to see it so that you know what they're trying to keep from you. No, this was Iran. 100% Iran. They promised to do this if America bombed their bridges. They promised to attack infrastructure in the region. 100%. And we bombed their bridges. America did. So they immediately bombed Kuwait's desalinization plant. And what you're going to see is whatever they used to bomb it, I don't know what hit. I don't know where it hit from. I don't know how it hit. But watch what it does. It goes up. Whatever they did to that plant, you're going to watch this fire get so massive, it takes over the Kuwaiti skyline, about 15 miles south of Kuwait City, near Kuwait Airport. And this is the last thing that happened. There's been no retaliation since then. So I'm going to take you through what's going on, but this was the peak of the Iranian retaliation this morning, and then I'll show you the Iranian claim video in a second. Again, this is, I believe, a confirmed now strike on the Kuwaiti desalinization and power plant south of Kuwait City, on the port, near the airport, and you're watching it burn. Chris, you're 100% right. Iran said they would disproportionately respond if their infrastructure was attacked, and a water plant that keeps people alive is indeed escalation more serious than hitting a bridge. I agree. A bridge is infrastructure. A water desalinization plant is what you would call critical infrastructure, life-sustaining infrastructure. Now, if you look at this water desalinization power plant in Kuwait City, south of Kuwait City near the airport, that plant gets blurred out on Google Maps. So that thing that's burning there is a very important thing for Kuwait, and it burns for a long time, and the fire gets very big. You haven't seen it get to its apex yet. Now it's getting about to its apex. Look how big that fire is. Look how big it is. It's still smoking. at this point, and we're now 10 minutes into the hit. Closer to 13 minutes. It's still going, whatever they hit. I don't know what you could, I don't know water desalinization plants and power plants, but whatever they hit at that plant burned, it's 13 minutes in, and the fire is continuing to expand, and it's thick black smoke. And you're looking at this as it played out on the camera. This was about 6 hours ago in Kuwait, and there has been no response by America, Kuwait, UAE, or anyone. Just quiet, silence, almost like someone fell asleep at the wheel. Jason asked a question: can agricultural production can't sustain without desalinization? Correct? That's probably true. I don't know a lot about irrigation. Oh, look at this. There's even more smoke going up over here now. I didn't see this the first time. Wow. That fire became very massive at its peak. You're gonna then see as it gets controlled, the smoke trail. But at its peak, that fire was huge, and we're very far away from it. I'd say we're probably 7 miles from it here in this camera. So you're looking at a fire that at its peak was probably 500 meters tall. I'm speculating because I don't know the exact positioning of this camera. But yeah, miles. You could see this from miles away. And look at how large it is. What did they blow up? How many people did they kill? Look at it, it's getting bigger. I didn't see this the first time. I was just clipping it. I was very busy this morning. Look at the size of that fire. I don't know what they destroyed over there. I know the building they destroyed, but I don't know what they could have hit that caused so much damage that it burned for, how long? 20 minutes? You watched that in double time. So what you experienced as 10 minutes was 20 minutes of burning. So whatever Iran destroyed, now it starts to calm down. Whatever Iran destroyed at that desalinization plant in Kuwait, it was not a traditional sort of strike on a generator. Whatever they hit was very serious and caused a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know what the response is going to be, but there has been no response. Zero. Now I'm going to take you to Iran last night, where some of these, not during the day, but the nighttime launches towards Jordan were filmed. Those are Iranian ballistic missiles launching towards Jordan last night. No, it's Friday. A lot of things happen on Friday, but it's not Taco Friday. It's what do you do on Friday? You don't have tacos, I'll tell you that. Soraya, you might be right, but the thing is, simultaneous to that hit, Kuwait's Water and Energy Authority put out a statement that a combined water desalinization and power plant was hit, and that is literally right where a water desalinization and power plant is. If you look at the Kuwait airport area, about 15 miles south of Kuwait, and what you're going to see, and I'll put it behind my head, what you're going to see is literally, it's kind of down here. Okay, it's south of Kuwait City. You're going to see this oil and gas facility, okay, near the airport, okay, over here. You're going to see it on the shore. It's visible, It's very obvious. It's kind of around here. And in that area, I'll just get it for you on the map. Let me just show it to you on the map. Hold on. Mateo, I can just show this to you. So it's very important because I believe that I've geolocated the strike. Let me just bring it up for you on the map. It's called the Suiaka Power Generation and Desalinization Plant, pardon me. Okay. Yes. All right, so let me bring this up for you. So I have up for you on the map the route marked from the airport to the plant I'm thinking about. Now, if we zoom in here, okay, if we zoom in, you can see that this plant, we'll let the rest of it load, okay? But no matter how much map data, it will take a second because it's a heavy resource. No matter how much map data loads around it, okay, this part will never load in. You see how it gets a little bit clearer? Okay, that's not a delayed load in. That is literally obscured. It's obfuscated on Google Maps, okay? You see this? All this other stuff, its textures are different. Hold on, frame drop. We're back. You see how its textures are different? You see how there's a clear demarcation line and then there's clear blurring? That's what I believe was hit. And that is called the Suwata Power Generation and Water Plant. Okay? I believe this is what was hit. I can't confirm it. It's on Jamal Abdul Nasser Street in Kuwait. Do we have the little man? Can he go there? I can go look at it? Really? Okay, let's go look at it. No way. They really just let you look at it? They spend all that time blurring it, and then you can just go look at it. So it's this thing. Hold on, which way? No, it's this way. Yeah, it's this thing. They hit this thing. Alright, so this is it. I believe this is what they hit. Thanks. I mean, great job, guys. You did a great job censoring the satellite. You didn't do a good job censoring the guy who just drove up to the gate of your facility. Swing and a miss, Kuwait. The Kuwaiti Petroleum Corporation is what it's flagged as, but it's actually a water desalinization and power plant combined. So it's right here. All right. There's a very nice hotel over there. I'm going to guess a lot of like defense contractors and stuff stay there. No, that's actually the headquarters of the Kuwaiti Petroleum Company. Wow, they made them watch. Oh, dude. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. Look at that. So that's their office building. The headquarters of the Kuwaiti Petroleum Company. They hit this thing. I'm telling you they did. That's a water desalinization and power plant. Frankly, I can't believe they didn't censor this. They were so good to censor the satellite imagery, but they just left this thing completely exposed. They don't even care. They didn't do a good job. That's a security risk right there. And then that's why they got wrecked. Alright, so this is just what the public could see, because some guy drove around in Kuwait. I promise you the Iranians knew what was there and knew how to hit it, and whatever they destroyed, it's probably this thing under the canopy. That's my best guess. I can't really tell. It's a little difficult from this angle to see exactly what's even there. It looks like a very high security facility, as you can see. And the best I can discern, they hit, and then all these people in this office were looking down on this as it burned. That's the... Oh, what's over there? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We got to go for a little adventure on the roads in Kuwait. We're on Field Trip with Towel here. Hold on. What's over here? What's over here? What are you hiding over here? These people, the Kuwaitis, don't hide their stuff very well. Are there oil depots over here? Let me check. What's that thing? That could be an oil depot. That could be a fuel storage tank. Doesn't really look big enough to cause the fire we saw. There's no, like, giant fuel storage tanks unless they're hiding behind there. They kind of do somewhat of the go-away green thing. They kind of try to hide it. I don't see any oil storage tanks, but I'm pretty sure this is it. So for those of you just tuning in, this is what was hit. I'm telling you, it was this thing. I've geolocated it. I've looked at it. I've reviewed it like 60 times. Everything I can tell, this thing was hit. It's not, it is a power plant, but it is primarily a water desalinization plant right near the airport in Kuwait. Okay? So that's the best I can do for you in terms of what was hit. I don't know why they left that so open, but it was hit hard. Which is to say, I don't know why they were so concerned about it on the satellite and just left it open on the ground. But that thing is burning. They used water storage to store oil, which Iran blew up. Ah, Rekha, but it's a desalinization plant. So don't you think that Iran would naturally follow through on their threat if their infrastructure were hit, like the bridges, to strike the water desalinization plant? Now, Rekha is an expert, says they use water storage to store oil, which Iran blew up. I guess that could be that too. You know, if there's nowhere to put the oil, they need overflow. I guess that could be it. Do you think it also destroyed the water desalinization capabilities? That would make a lot of sense. Good morning, Bunny Towel Mom. Hello, Kofi. Kofi's a dog. Kofi, how are you? Kofi, did you defend Bunny Towel Mom this morning? Were there any rogue horses? Kofi defends Bunny Towel Mom from the horses. You know, if the horses try to get near her, he thinks it's a very large threat to Bunny Towel Mom. He's a dog. How you doing, Kofi? Are you having a good morning? We had a bit of a night. It could get a little loud here, Kofi. You might have to cover your doggy ears. This is in Suleimania this morning and then also this afternoon, where Iran has been launching attacks at the what they would call Iranian opposition, which is the Kurdistan Democratic Party, but it's actually American-backed forces in Iraq. I don't know what he's listening to, but here's at 4:34 a.m. the first round of Iranian attacks in Suleimania. I'll show you more now, including something that someone had asked about earlier, the cluster munition. It shows up again, not in this video. This is more footage from Suleimania. Looks like a drone was downed in a field. More from Suleimania. No, this is it. So it looks like an intercept, but it's not. It's actually a cluster munition. The cluster munition has to pop, and I believe it's tough to tell because it's the daytime. So the whatever is below it, is falling in flames. Now it kind of looks so at nighttime when you see those cluster munitions, they're very clear. At that point, it looks like one of those cluster munitions, but then, because he zooms out, I can't tell if that's debris or if it looks like a cluster munition. And then that's the telltale. When a cluster munition fires, it has a poof behind it. And the poof of an intercept is normally left to right. The poof of a cluster munition is vertical. So that's what makes me think we just can't see it, but that is a cluster munition. You see how they're all falling? And this was Suleimania earlier today. I can't confirm it because it's just the sky is too light. Nighttime, I can confirm it. Now I'm going to show you footage of an Iranian drone attacking Suleimania and pro-American forces trying to shoot it down. Modern war incarnate, ladies and gentlemen. You have to try to get the drone. And there's a lot of them. Okay, now I'm going to show you what's called a claim video. Okay, the IRGC released what's called a claim video after their attacks. They did 6 waves of attacks overnight. Okay, these were waves 10 to 16 of what's called Operation Nasser 2 or Operation True Promise 2. This is different from the waves of attacks being launched by the Iranian army. This is the IRGC's Operation Nasser 2 or Operation True Promise 2, waves 10 through 16. Okay, remember Operation True Promise 4, Part 1 had waves 1 through 100 during the 40-day war. Now we're on waves 10 through 16 of Operation Nasser or Operation True Promise 2, Part 2. And by the way, this is a new song. The Iranian IRGC released a new song with their videos. They've never put this song in a video before. I don't know what it means. There will be very loud launch sounds during this claim video. It was released by the IRGC within the past few hours. The song will keep playing, but all of a sudden missiles will start firing. Maybe you'll be able to identify them based on what type of missiles they are. I don't know. That is a picture of the now deceased Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And Iran has a signature on their missiles. They like to put stickers, messages, etc. Oh, Chris, that drone got through, absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to bring them down. Some drones America gets with missiles in Iraq, but that one, I don't know if it hit, I didn't see it hit, but some got through because I saw previous footage of an explosion on the ground. I actually have a correction on the drone video. It was mislabeled. That was not this morning in Iran. In Iraq. It was actually on the other side of the border in Iran. Okay, and it was a UAE loitering drone being shot at a little bit south of the Iraqi border, and closer to the Strait of Hormuz. It was Iranian anti-aircraft fire shooting at a UAE loitering drone over the Strait of Hormuz area south of Basra, and so that one was mislabeled. But the first 3 were from Iraq. Okay, now I'm going to show you just a short clip of President Trump's speech from the White House last night.
That's what we're doing.
Which was not aired on any U.S. networks.
That's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history. That's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major...
Okay, so apparently China compromised the 2020 elections. We might listen to a little bit more of that if we have time. Okay, so I took you to the update about Oman. Now I'm going to show you satellite imagery of the King Faisal Air Base in Jordan from today, okay, which shows 3 distinct areas struck on King Faisal Air Base, including areas housing U.S. soldiers, okay? So these are, it looks like Chinese satellite imagery given to the Iranians, because that's just, like, Chinese satellite imagery looks a certain way during the passes, depending on whether it's day, night, dust storm, where the sun is, cloudy, whatever. These look like Chinese satellite photos. They're very accurate. They're high quality. Let me show you the, so these are the reported impacts. This set of housing for U.S. soldiers, this set of barracks, and this set of barracks at the King Faisal Air Base. Now let me show you the footage of the attacks on those air bases. We saw this the other night. Here are the moments of impact leading to those satellite images that showed the destruction at the base. Oh, damn. Oh, that was this video, huh? Damn. So that, what is that, a U.S. soldier? Just standing? Was he like, all right, this is it. This has got to be a soldier on the base. Because based on those satellite images, you couldn't be in that area unless you were on the base. Damn. Damn. That is taken from inside the base. Oh my God. I didn't realize it at the time. This guy is standing inside the U.S. Air Base in Jordan. We watched this the other night. I didn't realize. I thought it was just some guy in a neighborhood. That is a U.S. soldier probably. And that's a strike on the first barrack. And now he's going to turn, and the second strike comes in right after. No wonder he left his barracks. He must have known they were going to strike the barracks. Oh, dude, he's lucky he lived. Oh, God bless his soul. They could have hit his building, and he would not have lived. He was too close to that building. Oh, that's why he's in an open field. I was so confused about why this man was in an open field. Now I understand. He knew they were going to hit those barracks, and he left the barracks. Oh, my word. So that's the Royal... Let me give you the... That's the King Faisal Air Base in Jordan. That is... I can't believe it. I think you're probably hearing this first before elsewhere. That is a man or a woman standing on the King Faisal Air Base in Jordan as Iranian ballistic missiles, so those are interceptors, they all fail, as Iranian ballistic missiles hit U.S. barracks. Oh, wow. That's a hypersonic, huh? That's really scary. Oh, yeah, and you can see the previous hit. So he knew to start filming because... So watch. Where's the hypersonic? I can't even tell. I think that's the hypersonic. Those are interceptors. The interceptors miss. The hypersonic... Actually, one of them... It might actually be 2 hypersonics and 1 interceptor. Here's the first hypersonic that we see. It accelerates into the Earth. It causes a lot of damage. And then look. You can see the shrapnel. But then to the right, there's the reason he knew to film. There's there's already smoke plumes. They struck once. Oh, this was their response to that footage of I bet they were not trying to make a point, but just so you understand, we showed footage striking like 1, 2, 3 times on like a hangar near like a reactor or something. They struck once, twice, and then to the third time, like back to back to back down a row of barracks. Precision strikes. all in a line. And then the interceptor fails again up there. The next hypersonic comes in. And this guy probably had no idea what was going on. He probably didn't know whether it was going to hit his building behind him or the one next to him. He happens to get very lucky, and it accelerates and hits directly at a building on the other side of him. There's no way people weren't injured. Are you kidding me? If this dude was filming, they're lying to us about what happened at that strike. Why are we being lied to? I don't like this. This is what was happening during the first day of the war. I got really mad. Why? This is definitely the King Faisal Air Base in Jordan. And there are people, I assure you, if this random dude is in one set of barracks, and there's other there's other soldiers. This guy is random because he lived and got very lucky by luck of the draw. There are other people who were doing this, and they were right in the path of that. Oh my God. Why are they lying to us? I'm very upset. I'm mad. I have a very dark feeling in the pit of my soul. I'm now going to show you more footage from those strikes on Jordan. I think this was from off the base. This is people filming it from afar, but I want to show it to you. They're hiding this from us. We were definitely hit. I just saw the satellite imagery, and there's no way that people weren't in those barracks. Here's footage from outside the base of what it looked like. So the guy the footage you saw before was under these missiles. Here's footage from a few blocks away. I knew this was bad. I didn't know they lied to us. Oh my. We were hit really hard. And they lied to us. They blacked this out completely. How can they let Iran? This was a night 2 nights ago in Jordan. I didn't see the satellite imagery till now. I'm furious. I have to... How are they going to strike our bases and our barracks and our soldiers, and they're just not going to tell us? The only reason we know about this, by the way, is because I'm able to show... I just showed you 2 pieces of footage which showed the same thing from 2 different angles. One clip's longer than the other. And then I showed you satellite footage of the damage to the barracks at the base. This is outrageous. Outrageous. They struck this. You can see the missile impact was here. All these were destroyed. Okay, and you can see it mapped out, okay, above. Okay, it was just built. This thing was just built. This whole area of the base. All this stuff. And they destroyed the quadrant of it in the red circle, this area. Then they destroyed whatever is here. Okay? And this attack was July 15th. Oh, I see. So they destroyed 2 quadrants of this. They destroyed the upper left and the bottom right. And then here, they hit this thing. Whatever this is. Looks like barracks. Which means that guy was standing... Let's see, hold on. So the bombs hit here. One hit to his left and one hit to his right. So the only bombs that hit were here, here, and then here. So where was he? Oh, he was standing between this circle and this area and this area. Because he was really, really close to 2 of those hits. One was off to his left, and then the next one was off to his right. So I'm going to guess he was right in here, which would mean he was like here. And where he kind of had like a white wall to his right, a low white wall. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like he was right in here. So the best I can discern, this guy was right here. He was in this courtyard. Back of that video we saw, not this part. That was one set of explosions. The guy we saw, based on all of this, it's like open courtyard with some newly built walls around it. And this is the only open area with walls around it. To the bottom right, so here, and then top left of this quadrant, which is here. He must have been right here. We can't really see it because the satellite imagery is so zoomed in. But I think we've geolocated where that guy was filming. Wow. I think this might have actually hurt our boys and girls, our sons and daughters. Because what is that? Looks like barracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like a command HQ. Oh God. And this looks like, I can't tell what that is. Very long. It might be barracks. Yeah, and then the missile used this as a backstop and destroyed all of this. They all went up in flames. Oh, that's really concerning. Oh, damn. And this was 2 days ago. We're only finding out about this now. And they completely blacked it out. They didn't report on this at all. There was a time when you hit U.S. soldiers, or even close to them, that would be like a national cause A celebrate. Now they don't even tell us. Here's a U.S. Lucas drone, which is a copy of the Shaheeds downed in the Strait of Hormuz. Some fishermen found it. All right. Do we need a chat reset? I'll come in there and do a chat reset. Don't make me come do a chat reset. I think we're... All right, so that caught us up to when I started the stream. Now I'll take you through the updates that have come across my wire while we've been covering the stream, while we've been live, and then hopefully nothing else will happen so I can eat some lunch, and then I'll take you through whatever's going to happen later today. All right. So, while we were live, this is what came across my screen. Here is a Israeli drone strike on the area between Mafadun and Shukin in the Nabatayth area. Okay, this was an Israeli strike in South Lebanon this morning, about 1 hour ago. Here is new satellite imagery showing damage to the U.S. Naval Fifth Fleet. Okay, and that is apparently what was hit. It was a dish antenna at latitude 2612, 27.17 north, and then longe 50, 36, 37.38 east. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the Safi al-Hawi area of Ben Chabil, which was struck by an airstrike this morning from Israel. This is South Lebanon, Ben Chabil. South Lebanon this morning. Now I'm going to show you the site that was attacked, geolocated in Kuwait by the Iran drones last night on the Kuwaiti-Iraqi border. That's going to be lat 3000, 18.16 north, longe 47, 55, 37.35 east. And now I can show you the exact position of the American site that was hit in Kuwait. One of them. Okay? And that's what I have for you. Now, I showed you the Ben Chabil. Now I'm going to read for you a statement from the IRGC Aerospace Commander. Okay, published by the IRGC. Go ahead, British Reporter Tal.
Conversation. IRGC Aerospace Force Commander Said Majid Musavi. In our strategic calculations, every part of our territory is equally sacred. From Tehran to the south, Iran is one indivisible whole. Our precise and effective strikes against the enemy, launched from across Iran, will continue until calm is restored to the southern coastline and the Strait of Hormuz. Kindly make another backup account because they can ban this as well.
Oh, that's right. It was the comments being read. I was laughing at the fact that the statement did not say kindly make another backup account. So there you go. Iran threatening to continue the strikes as I was getting you more updates. I was very confused as to why the aerospace commander would have said get another account, by the way, but that is not what happened. All right, I have new footage coming in for you just now from CENTCOM of the destruction of the Chahar Baha Shahid Kantari Port Surveillance Tower. Okay? Chabahar. So let's take a listen. Go ahead, British Reporter Towel. It's coming fast and furious. This is 60 seconds ago from CENTCOM. You're seeing it here first. I bet Al Jazeera is not that quick on the draw. Quick draw, Tal McGraw. Let's go, British Reporter Tal. We got things to do, people to see. I want to eat a cheeseburger.
Conversation. On July 16th, U.S. forces successfully destroyed the Char Bahar Shahid Kalantari Port Surveillance Tower. Part of a maritime surveillance network along Iran's Gulf of Oman coastline used for decades by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, to track and target commercial vessels transients the Strait of Hormuz. The destruction of the tower directly degrades IRGC's ability to coordinate attacks on innocent civilian crew members. Furthermore, the strike, in regional waters for all vessels, except for ships attempting to violate the ongoing U.S. naval blockade against Iran.
All right, let's take a look. This is the latest footage from CENTCOM released just now. God bless you, Bunny Towel Mom. Valhalla, yes, I'm hearing reports of increasing Israeli strikes in Gaza. I will keep you updated. Here is the destruction of the tower. Oh, God. Oh, God. That tower went down. Oh, that was a mean missile. Silent dogs. Are you here? That's a very mean missile. That's not a missile apiece. That's a mean missile. He's so mean. He did a lot of damage. Oh, goodness. This is the latest from CENTCOM. Oh, goodness. You're looking at footage. This is how close we can get with our drone footage. When we hit, that's the tower. The tower's gone. Oh, goodness. Stuff just keeps going. They must have hit it a third time. Okay, so then they zoom in on the tower. Now I'm going to show you the footage one more time. There's no sound on this one, but I do have a US CENTCOM clip with sound now. There goes the tower. Yeah, I guess it takes 3 times and 3 missiles to bring down the tower. It's gone now, I'll tell you that. That tower was there. That tower does not exist anymore. My name is Grant Smith Ellis, and I think we are ramping up to what is going to be a very bad Friday. Not a good Friday, a bad Friday. American markets close in 6 hours, so you might want to get a nap in, take Kofi the dog for a walk. Kofi's like, wait a minute, I'm not Kofi the dog, I am Kofi. I didn't think I was a dog. I thought I was some kind of small horse. Well, Kofi, you're actually a dog. I'm sorry to reveal this to you. I don't mean to cause an existential doggy crisis, but you are, in fact, a dog. Sometimes I talk to Kofi. He's a dog. He knows the man on the TV. He hears me a lot. He knows the president. Isn't that right, Kofi? I'm going to have Kofi list the presidents one day. Now I'm going to take you to footage of one of the railway bridges that was destroyed. This footage just coming in now from Vahid over the wires. And this is the bridge and destroyed rail line at Bandar Abbas Junction Station last night. So there's the Bandar Abbas Railway. Hi, Kofi. Kofi absolutely knows my voice. When he hears his name, he's like, oh, that's the man on the TV. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the state of the Bandar Abbas railway line right now this morning. That's 5 minutes ago from Vahid. Now I will show you footage from the Yemeni capital of Sana'a, Tahrir Square, where the Houthi group said, quote, "There is no truce after today, but war, escalation, and attacks." That's a lot of people. I've never seen that many people. Very impressive.
الغضب اليمني العارم الغضب اليمني العارم
400,000 sounds about right.
سيزلزل مدنا وعواصم لن يبقى اليمني محاصر لن يبقى اليمني محاصر سنزيل العدوان الجائر.
Kevin from South Boston, I'm not sure you want to join in on this chant.
ولدنا حق مشروع لسنا من يقبل بخضوع.
No, God bless you, buddy.
لسنا من يقبل بخضوع. يا ابن سعود البادي أظلم.
I think Kevin from South Boston just became a Houthi.
يا ابن سعود البادي أظلم.
I agree, Jim. God bless Jim and hold on. Jim and Skidman. Hello, Jim and Skidam. Hello. I agree. Good morning, RHM. Kevin from South Boston has become a Houthi. He's converted. He doesn't know what the chant says. He's just been won over by the movement politics. Yeah, that guy's got a tough job. He's got to chant for 400,000 people. Good morning, Penny. Yes, my pleasure to show you the latest images from Sana'a, the only news channel in the world where you can see 400,000 people in Sana'a within like an hour of it happening and actually understand what's going on in Sana'a. I have no idea. Now, listen, I probably didn't do a great job by Kevin from South Boston, by not explaining what's going on. Now, I just want to show you on the big board. Can you bring up the big board for me? Would you be so kind? Towel. I am my own producer. Would you bring up the big board? All right, now Kevin from South Boston. This is the big board. All right, think about it like Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. We're in the war room. This is the big board. All right, get your pen and pencil. check the commies for spy cameras, whatever you got to do. This is the big board. Now, you, Kevin from South Boston, we got to go all the way across the ocean. Oh, goodness, I've never actually gone across the ocean. Now, Kevin, this is Massachusetts, all right? I know you understand this part, but I got to anchor you. This is Boston. This is South Boston, okay? Are we on the same page? Now, if you travel this way, okay, not down the Cape, like you got to go way over the Cape. If you not to Greenland, not to Nova Scotia, don't go that way. If you generally head this way, okay? All right, just don't think too much about how you're going to get over all this water. Just generally head east, southeast. You don't want to go to Ireland. Don't go too southeast. You might hit Morocco. Ideally, try to shoot for this specific opening right here, okay? Just head south of the Strait of Gibraltar, all right? Now, once you're there, don't go south, all right? All right? Don't go south. We don't want to do that. That's bad. All right? Don't go south. I can't help you if you go into Libya. That would be bad. All right? Hold on, they're verifying that it's me. YouTube's increased their security measures. I like it a lot. Okay, we're good. All right, so Kevin from South Boston. You ideally want to be looking up at Spain, all right? You can go towards Spain, that's fine. Don't go south. Just don't. Stay straight, okay? Which is actually, there is no straight when you're circumlocuting the globe. Stay due east. Ideally, you know, take a look at Italy, say hello to Sicily, wave hello. Then you want to go south, okay? Now we're in the right area of the world. Okay, now, once you're here, okay, we're really doing well, okay? Now we can make some progress. That is Israel. We've learned a lot about them. Now you're probably like, okay, I have my bearings. It's not just water anymore. I understand. Okay, so from Israel, right, you know, we got like Haifa in the north, Lebanon, Syria, Iran and Iraq are over here, Iraq, then Iran. Then you got Saudi Arabia, Jordan. We were just talking about the base there. Now, Egypt is over here. Don't think too much about that. The pyramids are right here, in case you're wondering. Don't worry too much about that. Down here is the city of Eilat, okay? If we drove by car from this part of Israel, where we'd get off the imaginary boat that Nunya's captaining and taking you and I to Jerusalem from South Boston, we're going to go south after we get to Jerusalem, and we're going to get on a boat again right here, okay? We probably are going to have a little trouble getting through the Negev. We'll go around it and take Route 90, all right? It's not the Mass Pike. Apparently their Route 90 goes north to south. What the hell's going on over there? So anyway, we're going to go down the Gulf of Aqaba, and then we're going to kind of, you know, just kind of think about like, you know, Moses or Jesus. I don't remember. I think it was Moses. He floated on the river. We're going to do a little bit of that, and then we're going to enter the Red Sea. Now, this might get a little bit dangerous. Yeah, Kevin from South Boston. You're going to be more of like a co-captain to Nunya on the ship. Then we're going to get back on the ship. And then, now, we've reached Yemen. So the whole point of that was, the video you just watched is of this place right here. Now, I'm not really sure that you want to join Mr. Houthis As you may know, Mr. Houthi was a member of the Yemeni parliament in the 1990s. Now, the Yemeni parliament at the time sat right here. Now, Mr. Houthi, for various reasons, mostly because the Yemeni parliament at the time was a little pro-Western, you know, he got made. And he did some things he shouldn't, etc., etc., etc. He got kicked out of the Yemeni parliament. And so he took a little, you know, pilgrimage up to the north of Yemen, as one is wont to do when one gets thrown out of the Yemeni parliament. And he ended up in a cave in the Al Fair Valley. He was just a small, like, group of men. It was him and his group of men. And his name was Mr. Houthi. And he was killed in fighting with the Yemeni government in a cave in the Al Fair Valley, specifically right there. Now, afterwards, there was this movement over here in the town of Saddah, okay, S-A-D-A-H. They were very mad that Mr. Houthi got killed in a cave in the Al Fair Valley. So they proclaimed their loyalty to Mr. Houthi. Okay, that's how the movement became the Houthis. It actually has an Arabic name that predates his death, but they called the movement the Ansar al-Houthi movement in his honor, okay? Now, here's what you have to understand. In the 1990s and 2000s, Iran wanted the Houthis to take over territory because Iran doesn't like Saudi Arabia. They're kind of friends. They kind of don't like each other. Iran doesn't like that Saudi Arabia has U.S. troops on Holy Land. It's a complicated story. So anyway, Iran's arming this group here in the north, the Houthis. The Houthis, with Iranian support in the 2000s, 2010s, and otherwise, gain all this territory in the north of Yemen. Okay? Now, they end up controlling the capital of Sana'a, which you just saw. That's the that's the Houthi capital of Sana'a. However, since 2014, Yemen has been divided basically like this, okay, with a transitional government called the Yemenis National Council. We're going to call it that for our purposes, down here in Aden. This is a Western, Saudi-backed Yemenis National Council. Okay, so you got the Houthis, since 2014, fighting Saudi Arabia, although they're in a ceasefire since 2014, and the Houthis fighting the Saudi and Western-backed Yemenis National Council in the south of Yemen. And at the same time, the Houthis in Sana'a are backed by Iran, who sends weapons to the Houthis through smuggling routes over southern Saudi Arabia. Okay, there's nothing down there. It's like gas fields and stuff like that. And through shipping, through like boats that go here, go over near Oman, go near Yemen, and then go into Al-Hudaydah, and then the Houthis use that port to take Iranian missiles into Sana'a, which they can then fire up at Israel along the Red Sea. Okay? Now, let me explain, now to complicate Yemen for you one more step. Over here in Yemen, there's like 82 tribes in Yemen. Over here, you have Al-Qaeda on the Saudi Arabian Peninsula. Now, Al-Qaeda on the Saudi Arabian Peninsula fled from Saudi Arabia into eastern Yemen. Okay? They are based here. The U.S. strikes Al-Qaeda, and sometimes the Houthis, to help the Yemenis National Council try to take back eastern Yemen. And that's the state of play in Yemenis politics. There will be a quiz. Oh, God bless you, Kevin from South Boston. I was so happy. See, I used our trip across the ocean as a learning vehicle there, you know, and I'm glad that you benefited from it substantively, and I'm thrilled that you got to come along on my example. You know, it was really fun. Like, I think I'd be a great teacher. Imagine having me in, like, your graduate studies class or your undergraduate class or your law school class, or just all of them. I can't teach any one thing because I'd want to teach it all. But just imagine having me as the professor. First of all, that would be a terrifying final to have to take. I would not want to take that. Do you know how fast I talk? If you were responsible for taking a final on everything I said over 3.5 months, oh my God. And you had to sit there and listen, and even if I only had you for like 3 hours a week, do you know how I speak like 300 words per minute? Do you know how much you would have to be tested on? I don't think it would be fair. Now that I think about it, I don't think I should teach because I don't think it would be fair to the students. And I wouldn't mean to overload them. I would just have a lot to say. And then they'd be like, but Professor, we can't possibly take an exam on all this. And I'd be like, yes, you can. Bunny Towel, you've been doing a great job. Hello, James Young. Sicily's a wonderful place to be. I've always wanted to visit it. Towel Girlfriend says a reasonable person would have to moderate your lecturing. Yeah, that's true. But then I wouldn't be nearly as fun. Just in case you're wondering, the final in this class, it's 3 hours. Okay, that's not too bad. It is 180 multiple choice questions, right? Not horrible. Then there's an essay, minimum 5,000 words. Then there's 3 short answer questions, minimum 1,000 words each. Okay? So you got to answer 180 multiple choice questions and write 8,000 words in 3 hours. Good luck. Accommodations will be provided based on whether or not your name is Kofi. Because Kofi's a dog. How is he supposed to do any of this? He's going to be very confused. We'll just let him punch the keyboard and see what happens. I bet he'll do better than some people, just randomly hitting buttons. It would be hilarious. So anyway, that was your update from the capital of Sana'a. And then I got a little mad. And then I started talking about, the history of Yemen. And then Kevin from South Boston said it was very educational. So more power to me, I suppose. All right, now I'm going to show you the latest footage from CENTCOM. And I'm going to have British Reporter Towel read it out. And then it's going to be very loud because some jets are going to be taken off. So, sound warning.
Conversation. Translated from French. The United States is broadcasting images of the strikes on Iran, and CENTCOM has announced that it conducted a new series of strikes against targets in Iran, marking the 6th consecutive night of operations. In a press release, CENTCOM states that U.S. forces used fighter jets, drones, and to carry out precision strikes against several dozen Iranian military targets. According to the U.S. military, the targets hit included air defense systems, surveillance sites, logistical infrastructure, and maritime capabilities.
Warning, this is going to get loud. Alright? I'm going to put a video up on the screen. I'm warning you, it's going to get loud. Alright? Would you be so kind, Producer Towel, to put the video on the screen? Yes. Alright, here we go. I'm my own producer. This is a one-man operation. By the way, it's been 3 hours, so let me do a donation read. Thank you to everyone who supports Towel Channel. God bless all of you. It means so much to me. This is a one-man run public information service. If you want to buy a towel lunch today or otherwise support these efforts, I'm going to need it today. I think we're going to have a long Friday. You can do so via the icons on the screen. There's a Cash App. There's a Venmo. Hold on a second. There I am. There's a Cash App. There's a Venmo. There's a PayPal. In the chat, someone I'm sure will drop the links. You can do ! donate. You'll find the Cash App is # Grant Smith Ellis. The Venmo is at Grant-E1. And the PayPal is paypal.me/Grant Ellis. Please don't feel obligated to donate. Please don't donate if it would be a burden on you, your family, or those that you love. But if you have the availability and you want to help spread out the burden, this service is designed to educate, inform, and entertain. I use 20% entertainment to insulate your brain from trauma, 40% education, 40% information, such as to engender kosher public discourse and ward off the usurpation of our forms of government worldwide. And if you want to see more of that kind of thing, that's how you can support this wonderful Towel Network. And I will actually pin the donation comment because sometimes people ask. Someone asked on my Facebook the other day, I forgot to get back to them, how they can help. And I'll just leave it in the pinned comments for now. God bless you all. Now, let me do your poll readout. I asked you all, what is your feeling on the current state of the U.S.-Iran conflict? With about 230 voting, you have said 41% we're in a drastic escalation. 28% somebody save the goats. 26% we are heading to a hot war. 6% things are calm. Excellent job. Excellent job. All right, now this is going to get loud. I'm giving you a sound warning ahead of time. It's jets. They're going to be flying around. They're going to be loud. They're going to be doing their jet thing. So God bless you all, and enjoy the jets. Yep, that was certainly jets. Uh-oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. I don't like what I'm seeing. No. Oh no. Everybody breathe and pray. Okay. I'm going to have this read out, and then I'm going to go get lunch, and then we're all going to breathe. Let's take a listen.
Conversation. Translated from Arabic. Paragraph mark in the name of God. Command of the Naval Force in the Revolutionary Guard. The movements and preparations of the terrorist American army are under the surveillance of the naval units of the Islamic Republic. The Americans are approaching, moment by moment, the 0 hour for the operation against the naval units affiliated with the U.S. Central Command in the region's waters.
Okay. I'm a little concerned. I think that's putting it lightly. I want to show you as well a speech from Sana within the last hour.
نعلن تطيبنا المطلق للسيد القائد عبد الملك بدر الدين الحوثي يحفظه الله لاتخاذ كل القرارات التي يراها لحماية حريتنا وكرامتنا واستقلال بلادنا ولكسر الحصار ورفع الظلم والمعاناة عن شعبنا وفتح جميع مضارات وموانئ اليمن واستعادة ثرواته ونؤكد بأننا لن نقبل بالعبودية والخنوع والخضوع للعدو الصهيوني والعدو السعودي وسيده الأمريكي والإسرائيلي وأن هذا هو المستحيل بعينه وأننا نفضل أن يستشهد الواحد منا في سبيل الله 1000 مرة ولا أن نقبل بذلك والعياذ بالله.
Oh my. Well, I don't know why people mess with Yemen. I really don't. By the way, CENTCOM put out this statement in the past, 40 minutes. Let me just read it out. Claim. Iranian forces claim they attacked Al-Tanaf garrison in Syria and captured or killed American troops in the process. I never saw anything about captured troops. What? False. Facts. No U.S. troops in the region have recently been killed or captured. I didn't... Captured? Did you all see anything in my read of the Iranian statements that said that troops were captured? I'm going to read you the summary if you're just tuning in on Towel News. Then I'm taking a lunch break. Then I'm coming back later this afternoon. It could be a long night. Here's a recap of everything that's happened overnight. It was an intensification, to put it lightly.
Conversation. To understand everything, here's a recap of what happened last night between the United States and Iran. Hostilities between the United States and Iran escalated overnight, with a series of strikes carried out on both sides. U.S. strikes targeted several civilian and transportation infrastructure sites in Hormozgan province, in southern Iran. The targets reportedly included 5 to 6 strategic bridges connecting Bandar Abbas, Bandar Qamir, and La, as well as the Shabahar Maritime Tower, a railway station west of Bandar Abbas, and the Iran Shah civilian airport. For its part, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, claims to have launched a massive series of strikes against U.S. and allied facilities across the Middle East. The IRGC specifically claims a surprise attack on a special operations center located at the Al-Tanf base in Syria, stating that it killed several U.S. soldiers and damaged a radar system as well as several helicopters. In Kuwait, Tehran claims to have struck a missile detection radar, several weapons depots, 2 HIMARS rocket launchers, and ballistic missile storage facilities for ATACMS missiles. In Oman, the IRGC says it destroyed a maritime surveillance radar at the Salama Islands in the Strait of Hormuz, as well as a U.S. air surveillance radar deployed in the Ghanem region. In Jordan, Iran claims to have targeted Muwafaq al-Salti airbase in 2 waves of ballistic missiles and drones, aiming at F-35, F-15, and F-16 fighter jets as well as refueling aircraft. According to the IRGC, several aircraft were reportedly destroyed or damaged. Iran also claims a drone and missile operation against several positions housing U.S. forces, without specifying their exact locations, as well as a strike at airbase in Qatar. Tehran asserts that it destroyed a long-range radar and several U.S. refueling aircraft there, while others sustained significant damage. The IRGC further maintains that the United States had transferred the headquarters of the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, from the Al Udeid base in Qatar to the Muwafaq al-Salti base in Jordan following previous Iranian attacks. Finally, strikes targeted BAPCO oil facilities and a support base for the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, as well as damage to a desalination plant in Kuwait.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was big news. Now, for you Karen Reed fans and John O'Keefe trial watchers, that case out of Massachusetts, I don't know if you're going to believe this. Matt Damon himself has confirmed that he is making a Karen Reed movie. None other than Matt Damon, ladies and gentlemen, while being interviewed by Kelly Ripa this morning, I'm looking and listening to the footage now, has announced that he is going to make a Karen Reed movie. None other than Matt Damon himself. Listen, Matt Damon, hit me up. I will help you write this movie. Listen, I am a student of film, okay? I can tell you everything about Kubrick's canon. I can tell you about Fritz Lang. I can tell you about the Hays Code era. Listen, I want to help you write this film. Matt Damon hit me up. Somebody call Matt Damon and be like, listen, there's this kid. He's a Tao. He's hilarious. He knows Good Will Hunting. He likes you. He smokes a little bit of cigars. You two can hang out. He's great. I need to write this movie. You don't understand. Matt Damon hit me up. We can do this. I'm great. I'm high energy. We can get this done. You know, it'll be quick. Like 9 months to write it. And then we can film it. Well, we kind of got to wait to see what happens. You know, it's kind of unsolved unless you want to leave it as a cliffhanger. The point is, hit me up. Hashtag somebody tell Matt Damon he's got to talk to Towel. Kevin from South Boston's like, I was in Michigan. I know nothing about this. Matt Damon, what are you talking about? Oh, this is going to be interesting. I can't believe Matt Damon's doing it. Yes, that Matt Damon, and that's that case that we cover all the time on this channel. All right. I don't want to be in the movie. Let me be clear. I have no desire to do that. I am kind of hilarious as an actor, and you could totally have a scene with me just around the courthouse. But no, listen to me. You want me to write and help you produce that movie. I am born to do it. I will go out to California. I'll bring Towel Girlfriend. That's it. Towel Girlfriend, we're going to California. That's it. That's it. We're doing this. Now listen, I do think it would be kind of fun to act, but I don't want to act. Well, no. And I'm not selling my soul. Absolutely not. We're doing this, like, I get to play, I don't have to be the director. I don't want to be the director. But I get Orson Welles level deference if I go out there. All right, I get to troll Dick Cavett, and I get to say ridiculous things, and I get to talk about Winston Churchill, who I didn't know. I just get to say things, and I don't owe my soul to anyone. Don't even think about it. Not happening. All right, that's it. That's it. I can feel it. I know what my calling is. My calling is to help Matt Damon with this movie. No, there's nothing in my life that I felt more certain about than I have to help Matt Damon make this movie. I don't even want that much money. Just give me enough and Towel Girlfriend enough to live. That's it. That's it. I know, I'm telling you, I feel it as a vocation. I must help him do this. I'm telling you, I feel it. Everything in my soul is compelling me to help Matt Damon make this movie. Hashtag reach out to Towel. Listen, sometimes when I say things on stream, they just happen. I don't really know how. So listen. Somebody out there, I know that you know Matt Damon. You text him and you're like, listen, there's this dude. He went to law school. He's a political philosopher. He's a student of film. He loves Kubrick. It's complicated. Oh, also, he's Wendy Murphy's son, and she hates him because of his views on the Karen Reed case, and it's complicated, and she knows Michael Proctor's uncle-in-law. Long story short, you got to talk to this kid. He wants to help you. He doesn't even really want that much money, just enough to live, and he refuses to sell his soul, and he's freaking hilarious. That's it. That would be hilarious. You don't understand. I don't really want to be in it. You must understand. I don't know if that's for me. I am pretty hilarious. I guess I could be cast in it. People like to listen to me. And I'm pretty, like, the camera likes me, I suppose. You know, people tell me that, like, it's interesting to look at me. So, that's it. That's it. I'm going to Hollywood. Towel Girlfriend. That's it. This is the end of the stream, by the way. We're going to lunch break. Then I'm going to come back. That's it. I know what I want to do with my life. I've never felt so sure of something in my entire life. I don't really want to be in it. I know a lot of you think it would be hilarious. I don't want to be in it. I just want to help him. Like, I have a creative vision. You must understand. You must understand. Somebody tell those studios, whoever the hell, listen, we will make this thing incredible. It will be great. We got to talk to Karen, though. Karen's participation in the drafting is crucial. Now, I don't know how all that stuff works. You know, there's a lot. It takes like 3 years. You got to go like shoot on location. You got to like get permits. You got to do all this weird stuff. But my point is, I can help them do this. I understand how Matt Damon thinks. I saw Good Will Hunting. Listen to me. I was driving. Listen to me. No, you don't understand. I have to show you this. One time, put all the... Oh my God, it's meant to be. All right, one time, I was driving. I don't know why. I had to go to like the airport or something. or to like the area near the airport, Chelsea. I think I was picking up a rental car. I don't remember. But it was this day. I was on the Blue Line. I've never been on the freaking Blue Line. I didn't know what the Blue Line was. I was so confused. Anyway, I'm on the Blue Line. I get out of the tunnel and I'm sitting there. And all of a sudden, it's all these like East Boston row houses on Broadway. And I'm on the train and it's kind of like snowing and it's a little bit overcast. And I'm like, oh my God, this moment's going to be like, this is one of those moments. I'm a journalist. Oh, it was the moment I had put together a lot of this stuff about the train. Okay. I don't really like trains. It was the weirdest thing in my life. I have to show you this. You don't understand. Oh, you must understand. I made a meme of myself on the train, like crying over like 5 rocks meant to represent 5 stones, because I put it all together, and I was not happy. I was not a happy towel to have put it together. It was very melancholy. I was crestfallen, like I had dropped my toothpaste. How hilarious is that? That's a Tom Swiftie. My point is, I gotta show you this. Oh yes, yes, look at this. Look at my creative direction. Look at it. Look, it's glorious. Look at it. It's me having put it all together, and I used to wear the Virgin Mother button a lot. So it's my Virgin Mother button. And I have my headphones on, and I'm a cute little towel, and it's snowing, and I'm on the Blue Line going to Revere while I'm looking over the city. You don't understand. And then all I wanted was a Pulitzer, so my Pulitzer Prize is there, but I'm very sad, because I didn't like that I figured it out. It was not the answer I wanted. Therefore, I'm telling you, Matt Damon, I have the vision. No, it's not just about me. I don't really want to be in it. I just have this way of embodying a moment in a artistic visualization. And if you give me the chance and a budget and like a Hollywood movie studio backing me, and you don't make me sell my soul, I will help you create the greatest artistic work centered on the city of Boston and technically Norfolk County, which is kind of near Boston, but technically down 128. Since Good Will Hunting will do it. Listen, The Departed was great. It was fine. Black Mass, it was pretty good. We will do it even better. I promise you, we will make it an ode to a city that lost its way and found itself again in the absolute chaos and shambles that was the Karen Reed and John O'Keefe and Turtle Boy cases. We can do it. It's Massachusetts' salvation. You know what you call someone from Massachusetts? A Massachusettsian. I know, right? It's hilarious. Alright, my point is, listen to me. Listen to me. We must do this. I've never felt so called to do something in my life. Everybody gets to help. Lots of people have to have a role in this. A story. I've always felt that journalism is telling human stories to human mediums. You just need someone who's not selfish. I don't want to actually be in it. It's very important. You need someone who's not selfish and that doesn't care about putting themselves over each person's contributions to the overall story. And then you present it. And then you just tell people what happened. And I want to help Matt Damon do that. I want to do it. That is indeed what we're called. Need more cowbell. Alright, so we have thought long and hard about this. We need to begin the process of formally petitioning Matt Damon, who's not part of the government, as far as I know, to consult with. I will be a creative consultant. You don't even have to give me that much money. I kind of want to go out to LA. Actually, you know what? This would work out really well. I think I want to bring Towel Girlfriend to LA for a little bit. So let's talk. All right. I don't need a lot. I need like a small room. It's a good time to do this. I need like internet, a computer. That's about it. Oh, you know, cigars. But the California has those. We'll be fine. You just gotta put me there and then put me in a room and let me just tell you things. I'll talk to you for a month. You'll make the greatest film in the history of America. And then you got to give me some money. Not a lot. I don't want any points on the back end. Just a little up front. Little cushion. You know, then I can go around Europe with Towel Girlfriend. I've always wanted to go to the French Riviera. I need some time off. I haven't left Boston since 2017. And I'm disabled, you know. So anyway, we're doing this. I have a plan. Now, we got to get Matt Damon on board with this plan. I don't know if that's going to work. But I am the man to do this. I'm called to do this. Earthquake in Mexico. Oh no. That was a drastic, well, earthquakes come out of nowhere. There's been a very serious earthquake in Mexico, according to Chris. A 7.4. Real Jack Matt, it's so good to see you. Wait a minute. The Puerto Madero region of Mexico has been hit with a 7.4 earthquake. I hope this is not as severe as the Venezuelan earthquake. Also, Neo Mortal Girl was not wrong. She very much like picked up on the fact that, you know, well, earthquakes were starting to ramp up. I'm trying to get you some information from Mexico. Oh no, the IRGC accounts are threatening retaliation again. No, that's not good. Okay, hold please. I feel it is important that I find out if this earthquake hit a population center. Hold please. It struck off the coast near Guatemala. And then there was another earthquake at the same time off the coast of Yemen. That's a little odd. A tsunami warning has been issued for countries in Central America. Uh-oh. So it hit right next to Guatemala. If you're in the area of this video, I would probably like turn your news on because there might be a wave coming towards you. If you're in like Guatemala, si entiendes español y este momento si están en el país de México o Guatemala, si tú escuchas mis palabras, necesitas escuchar para sus periodistas a este momento, porque tenemos una situación muy importante. Sí, no sé cómo se dice tsunami, but yeah, you should turn on your news. I wish I could help you, but I'm not in Mexico. So if there's a big wave coming towards you, and you're near like Guatemala or like anywhere like MGEHNCP, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, MGEHN, Costa Rica, Panama. If you're anywhere near there, or even probably like in the north of like Central America, Latin America, like you probably, like South America, you probably want to run, or at least listen to the TV. Not run away from where you are, run to the TV and listen to it. I'm not there. I don't know what's about to happen. Play it safe. That's my advice. I'm a news network. So on the off chance, because people do from other countries listen to this station, and they do speak Spanish, on the off chance that you are anywhere near that thing, you should turn to the news. And if there's a wave coming at you, you should listen to their instructions. But I'm not your local civil authorities. I can't report as fast as they can. Not about this. And it's very close to the coast. I'm going to bring up the map I have for you. Just on the, you might only have a few minutes. I don't know if a tsunami is coming. I don't. I'm not there. So on the off chance that there's something bad happening, let me just show you the map. I won't get lunch for the moment. Let me just show you the map of where you need to be concerned about. All right, I said it in Spanish. But if you are anywhere near this, you see this? Like anywhere near this, I would imagine, because of how strong it is, there's a chance that there is a very large wave that is coming towards you. You see what I'm saying? All right? So if you are in that area, or if you know people in that area, you need to listen to your authorities, because that is right on the coast. And that is a lot of water. Hold, please. Might have actually been bigger than 7.4. Might have also been smaller. The numbers will go up and down. I don't have any pictures of any giant waves yet. Very shallow waters, though. It was only 48. How deep was it? A depth of 15.178 kilometers. And it struck 48 kilometers southwest of Achilles Cerdan. It was definitely felt. I don't know if anything fell. It happened like 9 minutes ago, so bear with me. I'm a little worried. Normally, I would say about an earthquake, they don't necessarily, depending on where they strike, cause a big threat if they're in the ocean. They can cause tsunamis if they're far out, but this one may as well have hit on land. It's very close to the shore. And it struck at a very shallow depth, and it was very strong. There's a chance that there's going to be a tsunami from this in that area. I don't know what's down there. It's on the border of Guatemala and Mexico. Thank you to Chris for bringing this to my attention. I think the people there most likely got warnings, and there's probably sirens wailing. Mexico is, and definitely Guatemala, is not my area of expertise. I don't cover Latin America. Here's what I have from the USGS, okay? There is a tsunami threat, okay? So it's more like a public safety thing that I just let you know. I wish I could do more for you. I really do. I'm very sympathetic because I have a fear of that myself, tsunamis and earthquakes. I don't live on an active fault. I've just always been worried about them. So anyway, there is the area that you need to be worried about. You see those purple dots? And that's called a tsunami warning. If you are anywhere near there, in particular, if you are on the coast and you, for whatever reason, watch Towel News because you're very interested in the war, you need to turn to your local news and you need to listen to their instructions. If you are between those two dots, I'll zoom in more. Okay? So if you live or you know people between those two dots, so the border of Mexico and Guatemala, all the way down, like to the north of Chile, you are under tsunami warning. I don't necessarily know if a tsunami is going to come and hit you, but that's the best I can do for you right now. I'm not a weather reporter. I have reported on weather before. All right, hold on. I have something from Sky News for you, just a short clip. I imagine the anchor from Sky News, which, by the way, they reported 41 seconds ago, so thanks to Chris. Other than Sky News, this is the first channel in the world that was able to tell you that, so I hope it helped someone. Here's what Sky News reported 60 seconds ago.
Earthquake in Mexico. There's been a sizable earthquake in Mexico, magnitude 7.4, that has struck the Puerto Madero region in Mexico. As a consequence of that, the United States has issued a tsunami warning, saying that there could be a tsunami risk within 300 kilometers of the epicenter along the coasts of Mexico and Guatemala. So we're going to keep an eye on what is very much a developing situation there in Mexico with that sizable earthquake, and we will keep you informed as best.
So I was able to give you a little bit more. She was very accurate and correct. There is a tsunami warning in that area of the world. I do not know if one has developed. We might have to pick up our coverage in a little bit. I need to eat. And I'm very worried that we're about to look at an escalation this afternoon. So I need to gather my strength. But yes, you should keep an eye on that. I don't think I have a lot of viewers down there. It might be a couple thousand at most. But over the time that the coverage of the war has gone on, it's still important to me that I get that out. So God bless you to Chris. Thank you for letting me know. Well, I was going to vote for Kofi for president. So hold on. I have a preliminary report. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's take a listen. From Mexico. No, not that one.
Finally,
not that one.
Conversation. The 17th of July 2026, 14 hours 48 minutes and 39 seconds updated. M7.3, near the coast of Chiapas, Mexico 14.7 to 92.9, 9D 409, = preliminary report =. Asterisk asterisk this event supersedes event at TABQH8. Event type, earthquake. Region, near the coast of Chiapas, Mexico. Geographic coordinates, 14.691 N, 92.885 W. Magnitude, 7.3. Depth, 15 kilometers. Universal time, UTC, the 17th of July 2026, 14 hours 48 minutes and 40 seconds. Time near the epicenter, 1, the 17th of July 2026, 9 hours 48 minutes and 40 seconds. Time in your area, 1, the 17th of July 2026, 6 hours 48 minutes and 40 seconds. Location with respect to nearby cities, 48.5 kilometers, 30.1 miles, SW of Aguil Cerdán, Mexico. 67.2 kilometers, 41.6 miles, SW of Huxtla, Mexico. 71.6 kilometers, 44.4 miles, WSW of Tapachula, Mexico. 73.3 kilometers, 45.4 miles, WNW of Brices Barra de Suchiate, Mexico. 121.2 kilometers, 75.2 miles, WSW of San Marcos, Guatemala.
All right. So I don't think there will be a wave. You would have heard it by now. Somebody would have heard of it. And the initial report from the National Weather Service is that there will not be a tsunami in these areas in the United States. But there is a tsunami warning in Latin America. Okay, I've done my towel reporter job. I gave you more than Sky News did, so I feel like I've been an efficient reporter towel, even under a developing situation. Okay, my name's Grant Smith Ellis. Hold on, I got footage. I have footage from Mexico. I knew it would come in. Here you go. I have footage of the earthquake. It came in 41 seconds ago. Hello, Real Jack Matt. It's so good to see you, my friend. Been thinking about you. I hope you've been well. You reach out anytime you need me. God bless you. You're wonderful. All right, here's the footage from the Mexican earthquake. Here we go.
Ah, se mira cómo está el cielo, guacha. Aguanta.
¿Quién es con dos veces? Ese rato también va a cambiar.
Sí. Ya lo grabé. Pero guacha el cielo, no mames.
Sí, ese rato tembló.
So that was what it felt like in Mexico. Yeah, more tremors than I would imagine the shock. But it went for about 40 seconds. That was long.
Aguanta.
¿Quién es con dos veces? Ese rato tembló también.
Sí. Ya lo grabé. Pero guacha el cielo, no mames.
I think that's a courtyard.
Sí, ese rato tembló.
It looks like they're just drying clothes in a courtyard that had a bed frame at one point. It's probably a tropical area as well. They probably don't need roofs. It might rain a little bit, but it's probably their sun porch.
Ah, se mira cómo está el cielo, guacha.
Wow. All right, my name's Grant Smith Ellis. Let's do our Tippecanoe and Tyler too. Pete Bunningtall is actually sleeping. He's resting in his chair. You'll see him later today. I know I've said that 2 days in a row, but yesterday was wild. Today you probably will see me again, almost certainly. I need my lunch break though. I'm a one-man operation. We've been going for 4 hours. By the way, thank you to everyone who helped us almost reach our chat goal. You know what? I'm going to reward you with goat videos anyway. You know why? Water under the fridge loves the goats. 2, I think you all should get goat videos no matter what. The chat goal is great, but frankly, I'm rewarding you with goat videos just because you're you. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it here. I'm not necessarily of the everyone gets a medal mentality. I'm more of the everyone gets a goat mentality. I was explaining, by the way, my plan to give away goats to some either of the media or of the Free Karen Reed supporters when I was at the courthouse the other day. And overall, you know, the plan to give away goats, I think it's going to work. I didn't hear any like staunch objections. A lot of people liked the idea. There were some concerns, as I had concerns about what we were going to do if the goats, if somebody wants to like take the goat, like the Sultan of like Oman wants to take his goat back to Oman. We're going to keep the goat in the ballroom kind of structure that's never going to be finished. We're going to turn that into goat stables. It's going to be the International Hall of Goats. IHOG. It's going to be hilarious. And we're going to be like, no, Mr. Sultan of Oman, it's a ceremonial goat. You leave the goat here, we put the Omani flag over the goat, and then your goat is in the International Hall of Goats. Mimi, my dear friend Mimi, is going to run the International Hall of Goats. God bless you, Michael Brown. Thank you so much for being with us. I agree, Real Jack Matt. That was a little bit weird. Justin Tube Socks, good morning. It's so good to see you. Real Jack Matt, I think the mystery man did it. Water Under the Fridge says, save the goats, free on Hurried and Razor. Enjoy your break. A great dog. God bless you, Water Under the Fridge. You continue to be a stalwart defender of our precious Great Lakes, and the American polity and myself are forever in your debt. Also, save the goats. You know, in American history, we've had few men, or animals, or women, who have ever risen to the occasion of keeping Iranian boats from rolling over Canadian soil and taking over our Great Lakes. But not one of them, while Water Under the Fridge has been on the watch, has succeeded. Therefore, Water Under the Fridge has protected the Great Lakes and done America and the city of Detroit an honorable and noble service. We haven't fully avenged, you know, the Canadians raising their flag over Detroit, but we're damn close. Now here's the video of our goats. They were displaced from southern Lebanon on March 9, 2026, and were marched through the streets of Beirut. We hope they're okay. Hi, Mishigama. God bless the fridge indeed. Look at the goats. Look at them. Look at them. They're goats. There's probably some cows, a few sheep. There's some sheep in there. There's a doggy. Hi, doggy. Kofi, you have to be nice to the goats and the sheep. That's a baby goat. Now, wait till you see the grand finale. You want to talk about a crescendo. Wait for it. Wait, no. Wait for it. Look at that. That is a baby goat being ridden on a horse by his shepherd. That's a baby goat. You see the baby goat? Alright, that was a baby goat. Hi, Ruby. We do love the goats. In Limonene, you got to see the goats. Nurse of Interest, we do say that. Save the goats. So those are our goats. Now, you can have a bonus goat video, okay? Normally I wouldn't do this, but everyone's going to be thrilled. You had a long morning. Everyone's going to go do some decompression that's been watching, and you can breathe lightly, knowing, oh no, we're not watching that one. The goats destroyed a house. Oh, look at Carly's going to love it. Carly, your goats have made another appearance. I got to also upload Standing Stone's picture of a goat. He sends me goat pictures. They're great. Carly the other day was like, oh, my goat picture made it on Towel News. Yes, Carly, the people around the world know of you and absolutely adore the goats. Shout out to Carly and the goats. All right. And then this, by the way, a little bit later in June of 2026, 3 months and 6 days after the goats had to leave South Lebanon, some other goats got to come back. Look at them. Look at those goats. Bonus. Hashtag bonus goats. In the last war, Iran closed their airspace, no civilian flights. This time, none of the countries have closed their airports. Yeah, let's keep an eye on civilian flights in Iran. I agree with you, Hungraya J. I think that's probably true. But Rekha, absolutely. Let's keep an eye on the civilian airspace in Iran. That is a telling indicia. Those are goats. All right, let's do Tippecanoe and Tyler 2. Well, actually, we have a question from Hungry J03. Do you think people should leave the Middle East like the Arab countries, or things will stay restricted in Iran and Israel? I don't know. If I had a crystal ball, I would answer that. Right now, it's 50-50. I think that de-escalation, in the interest of preserving the economies of those countries, is always at the top of the diplomatic list. Always. They first and foremost want to preserve their economic base. With President Trump, though, and the IRGC and the nature of what's been happening and the fact that America hasn't struck back, I don't know. If you see any warnings about airspace closures, which I haven't seen, I just want to be clear, that is normally a sign. So even if I'm not live and you see something confirmed via like Sky News Arabic, Al Jazeera Arabic, not just like a guy chatting on social media, but a legitimate news source saying the airspace is closed, which I have not seen, then yeah, you gotta lift your alert level. Does that mean every airspace is going to close? No. But that's normally a very active sign of escalating potential missile conflict that could impact civilian airspace. But that hasn't happened, as far as I know. But if I see that, I will absolutely try to report it. And if I'm live when that happens, I will let you know. But as of now, unclear. Just quite literally too unclear to tell. There are too many variables. The infrastructure hits are worse over the past 12 to 24 hours than anything that's happened since April. Israel is not involved, as far as I know. The UAE, I think, might have been. Kuwait and Bahrain are. Those are and Iraq and Oman. Those are the countries, and Jordan, that would be on the highest alert. And they are, because they've been hit successively for 5 days in a row. I have no reason to believe right now that there's any security assessment in Israel that there's going to be an attack by Iran on Israel. If that changes, I would let you know, of course. But I have no indication that the security posture or alert level has changed. I have no indication that any airspace has been closed. And there's nothing that tells me, like, in this hour or right now, bad things are going to happen. After the stock markets close, I don't know. You got to watch developments. If it's calm between 4:30 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern today, yeah, we might be out of the woods. At least not for these tit-for-tat attacks that are dangerous. But I don't expect massive escalation. If you hear like that Israel bombed Iran between 3 and 4:30 or 3 and 6 p.m. today, yeah, it's going to go down immediately. So those are the factors, those are the variables. Robert McNamara, the Secretary of State for about 6 U.S. presidents, wrote in the documentary Fog of War, famously said, in war, there's known knowns, there's unknown knowns, there's known knowns, there's known unknowns, and then there's unknown unknowns. In other words, there's what you know, there's what you know you don't know, and there's what you don't know you don't know. Your goal, at least in that context, or as an analyst of that, is to reduce the unknown variables. Right now, the unknown variables are a larger percentage of the equation than the known variables, and thus a legitimate prediction, I believe, is impossible. So, that's my opinion. All right, let's do Tippecanoe and Tyler 2 before I get out of here. Yeah, I agree with you, Hungry Jay. I think Israeli involvement or closure of airspace, these are all good early alerts. And of course, wherever you may be in the world, especially if you're in the Middle East, pay attention to the warnings from your local civil authorities. Pay attention to the warnings from your regarding the regional airspace, and act in the way that you think is the best to protect your interests and those of your family and your safety, of course. But beyond that, it's way too hard to give individual advice or predict what's going to happen in any given country. But I can give you the factors that would be on my mind. All right, Tippecanoe and Tyler 2. We do the presidents to test my mental acuity. Only a lunch break, so I'm not doing a traditional closing. Thank you all for your support. We basically reached our goal. I'm grateful to all of you. I'll end our poll here. You can see what you all thought, the 257 of you who voted over our stream. Thank you all for watching. God bless you for being you. Appreciate you, Bunny, and Towel Girlfriend Nikki, and In Limonene, and Hungry Jay, and Nurses of Interest, and Water Under the Fridge, and Bunny Towel Mama, and Kofi. Everyone, you're also wonderful, and Classic Clippy. Let's do Tippecanoe and Tyler 2 in honor of our dear friend Triple Bob. Shout out Triple Bob. President Washington, the President Adams, President Jefferson, President Madison, President Monroe, President Adams Jr., President Jackson, President Van Buren. 9, 10, 11, 12 get a little hard. It's like William Henry Harrison. I don't know, 10. He might be 10 or 9. I don't know. And then it is Tippecanoe and Tyler 2, so it's going to be Polk Taylor. Then it's going to be, weirdly, Martin, not Van Buren, Millard Fillmore at 13. Then it's going to be Pierce Buchanan, Lincoln Johnson Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Cleveland Harrison Cleveland, McKinley Teddy Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Harding Coolidge Hoover, FDR, Truman Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush 1, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. That was great. I did that on Justice Served TV the other night. Kyle Sharkey, the great and honorable and venerated Kyle Sharkey, requested it in the comments, and I did that for Justice Served. They were blown away. It was great. And I almost have all the presidents down. I'm close. I got to fill in like 9, 10, 11, and then like we're good. And once I can do that, I can go from 1 to 47, although there's only 45 presidents. All right, so thank you, and Limony, Towel Mom Bunny, all of you out there who watched today. Real Jack Matt, it was so great to see you, and so many others. Marjorie, my dear friend, thank you for being you. Nurse of Interest, I'll think about the Pentagon budget when we get back later today. Chronically Me, thank you so much for being here. Have you seen the goats on Al John's son's roof live stream on YouTube? I have not. Chronically Me, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'll definitely check it out. Ruby, it was so great to see you, and Mishigama, and Water Under the Fridge, and Justin Tube Socks, and Kevin from South Boston, 3D4 Mafia, need more cowbell, sorry for burping, no pun intended, we do need more cowbell. Chris, it was great to see you, thank you for the update about the tsunami. This is just a lunch break. Look, Standing Stones, I didn't see you there, great to see you, and Sean Lindsay, Miss Blue, it was great to see you. Oh, look at all of you, Dee Dee Thames, Tower Girlfriend Nikki, you're so wonderful. I adore you. Who else was here? Time for Truth Now, good to see you. Pick a Handle, my dear friend, it was great to see you. Keith, thank you so much for stopping by. Look at you all had a great chat. Thank you so much for being you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you again for spending some time with me. God bless you, and look for a reason to do a small act of service until we see each other again, which will be later today, I'm almost certain. This is Towel News, youtube.com/@GrantSmithEllis. It's coming up on 11:40 a.m. Eastern. That would make it 5:40 p.m. in South Africa, 6:40 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and 10 p.m. or so in Tehran, Iran. It's Friday, July 17, 2025. God bless all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being you. Hello, Stetson. Good to see you. Set on Reddington. We're ending for the day. Thank you very much for stopping in. Not for the day, for the hour. I'm going to eat lunch. God bless you all. Thank